They don't.
All right.
Okay, Finance Director, back on. You're back on. Let's go.
So the police millage fund, so again, we're focused on 2023. The Fund 120, the police millage fund, we had no changes.
What line are
Which
you on?
page?
Page 17 of 30, row 670, or 669.
Okay.
No change to Fund 120 between the two versions. Next page, page 18 of 30, Department, Fund 122, the sales tax fund. There were no changes in the sales tax fund, revenues, or receipts.
Good.
Page 19 of 30, Fund 123, the fire sales tax fund. We increased the estimate of collections through December 31st from 400,000 to 640,000. So we increased it about 240,000.
Good.
And that's to reflect the actuals since the original
correct.
and the projected next month.
Correct. 2 months of actuals, and then the final 2 months of estimates. As an aside, we did get the deposit today for December, and it's consistent with these estimates. It was not a super high month, maybe one of the lower months for the year, but
What was it, do you recall? 120s, 130s?
the total deposit was $355 for the city and the fire.
Okay.
So I think the fire piece was 120, 130.
Yeah. All right.
But we looked last year, November 2022 was also one of the lower months.
Okay.
And the
Interesting.
prior years were COVID impacted, so it was hard to tell.
Really, they ain't got nothing to buy here.
So,
Now, Todd, you show here 2,086,460. That's what the sales tax for the fire department,
that's the fire
that's the fire department sales tax.
sales tax gross, Councilman Paul. There's a collection fee that the tax collector takes out.
They
which
take
is
10%. right?
200,000.
All right, now, see in '24, you budgeted them 1.5 million.
Yes.
Well, where's the other 500,000 going? Because that's dedicated to the fire department.
So that's just a, oh,
Either way, doesn't matter.
So we anticipate a little less revenue, a little less
less.
revenue potentially in 2024.
Yeah, but-
as it's kind of settled out
Right.
in some of the months. We're a little higher at the beginning of 2024.
It is,
0.5 is still going to be a little lower than what we actually get, but that's just a
Yeah.
conservative estimate.
Okay.
I feel
Fair?
that it's going to be
yeah,
like
I would agree with that. I would agree with that, but there is some uncertainty. But I would agree, at the start today, it is substantially less than what we actually collected in 2023.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And just to be clear, Councilman Paul, none of this money, we're not collecting it and putting it anywhere else. Like you asked, is the 500,000 going anywhere else?
It's
That's-
going to the fire, but it's
All the
being-
receipts come into this
Okay.
fund.
Okay.
Correct. So that's the only change. There's a small change to the collection fee in column G, row 721, a few $1,000.
Well, it doesn't matter. I get the number anyway. It doesn't matter. Sorry.
before we move on to your next change.
Yep.
I've got a note here from my 1122 budget. When Councilman Buddy and I met with you, we were looking at, this was submitted expenses, and we know some of those aren't going to be granted. Do we have that percentage for FEMA, for the FEMA fund?
What's,
I'm sorry, so the question is, the FEMA fund,
oh.
you remember this conversation?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So, Mr. Buddy, if you remember, the question that we had was, there was submissions in 2022 that we know we're not going to receive reimbursement for. What percentage of those, so that we can estimate going forward? And that's not calculated in the new fund yet.
No.
I'm sorry, what was the final statement you made there?
That's not calculated in the new budget presented yesterday yet.
May I ask one other question? I hate to ask this question.
Ask, that's what we're here for.
2.86 thousand, and they only, you show, okay, never mind, I see it, never mind, forget it, forget my question.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good, forget.
Fund 125 is the FEMA fund. We had no changes to these amounts as budgeted for 2023. Page 21 of 30 is the ARPA fund, Fund 130. There were no changes in the budget amounts for 2023 for this fund.
So looking at the ARPA fund, the 87,000 that we passed tonight, is that included in the 23 budget?
So it can be, yes. Based on that ordinance, yes.
Okay,
It would be included, even though it's not on these
gotcha.
files.
So that would be the revenue and expense we should.
Yep.
Give me 1 second, I'm sorry. And then also included in this, I don't know why I have this note here, but I have plus $733,000 for the Wilson Street
Yes,
project.
yes.
That should also be included in?
No, that's already in this number.
That's
So
already-
row 763
Got it.
is the transfer to the sewer fund.
Okay, thank you.
Page 22 of 30, Fund 238. This is a reserve fund for the DEQ loan. Really has no activity other than the interest income. No change. Page 23 of 30, Fund 239, another reserve fund for the DEQ loan. No activity other than the interest income. Page 24 of 30, Fund 240. It's the third separate reserve fund for the DEQ loan, as required under those loan documents. And that fund only has interest income and no change from what we previously budgeted.
And are those funds that we just have to keep open until the DEQ loan is
Yep,
discharged?
yep.
That's
like-
the covenant that you were speaking about earlier?
Correct, part of them, yes.
Got it.
Yep. Page 25 of 30 is Fund 241. That's the bonds that we paid off last year. In future years, we'll hide this page or remove it. It's all zeros. Page 26 of 30. This is the Fund 341, the Capital Project Fund. Row 836 is the transfer from the general fund for the video poker funds. And the initial budget just had that number overestimated, and what we estimate that to be is 400,000. So we reduced the transfer
What line
in
is that, Todd?
row 836.
836.
836, thank you.
Yeah, 26 of 30, page 26.
Yep.
Sure. Yep. 400,000 is what we project, and we just had 459,000 in there, and so we needed to take it down. Page 27 of 30, this is still the capital project fund. Row 892. These are capital outlay expenses in the fire department. These are actual repairs to the old firehouse, bills that we've already paid in October, November, that we did not have in the initial projections.
And those are from dedicated revenue from the state?
That's from the grant. Yeah, I don't remember the grant number, but there's a grant,
Yep.
119 or Act 119 or
Were these for
120.
repairs to the old fire station?
Yes.
The Roy Land Fire Station.
Oh, Royland,
Royland.
thank you.
So we adjusted for that, those actual expenses we've already paid. Page 28 of 30 is the sewer fund, Fund 460. No changes on page 28.
And again, Todd, on line 936, you haven't changed this for what we did tonight.
No, there's been no
Right.
consideration
Won't affect the
for
general fund.
2024.
Right.
Correct.
I've got a question on the fees coming into this fund, the sewer impact fees. If I'm recalling correctly, when we increased the sewer impact fees a couple of years ago, all of those fees were supposed to be, I guess, put into this fund. And is it right to say that sewer impact fees for all of 2023 is $8,700? That doesn't seem accurate.
I'll have to check that, Councilman. I can check that.
Seems rather low.
Councilman, which line are you looking at for that 87?
938.
I'm seeing total projected for 23 is 10,000.
Oh, I'm sorry, 10,000.
Not
Yeah.
a big difference.
10,000, I'm sorry.
Is part of this, you think, because the new construction going on at Colonial was offset by the prepayment that we...
Yeah, but we should still be realizing the payment as it's used. We should be realizing that payment in here.
I think we
As deferred.
realized it in the year we got the payment.
No, that we shouldn't have, because that's deferred revenue. We can't realize it because it was a prepayment.
I'm not going to argue with your accounting treatment, but I recall that we used that money in the year that we got it
Boy, I
in the
hope not.
budget. And I may be wrong.
I hope not. Okay. If so, I'd like to go back and see where it was,
It wasn't used.
where it was in here. So
I don't believe it was used.
okay.
Is anybody keeping an accounting of that sewer impact?
Let me,
I hope so.
let me check, Councilman Buddy.
Okay.
From my last recollection, no, there was no good way to account for it.
Well, you'd have to do it with a hand schedule or a Excel schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to be easy.
That ARPA money, that 968, 425, is that a payback?
We're,
That is that a payback? When we-
938.
Line 949.
oh, I'm in the,
460.
hold on.
That's transfer in, is that a payback when we collect that money from the increase in the sewer?
That is,
Is that a payback, or that's,
that is us using a portion of the ARPA funds.
right, do we pay ARPA back, or that's not a
No, it's free.
payback?
Nope,
No.
It's all.
No.
So,
All free.
it's, okay, okay, just ask. I thought you mentioned about paybacks, I thought we had to pay that back.
No.
The only DEQ loan is the.
That's, so the 968 is the 733,000 of the final two bills on the Wilson Street project,
Plus some other.
plus the interest.
Gotcha.
The interest earned on ARPA is unrestricted. That's very clear in the guidance. So we have $3.5 million in the bank in that ARPA account. And the rate, so I emailed the banker today, and we're earning 5-point-something% on all the deposit accounts throughout the city.
And where are we sweeping that interest to?
So
It's
the
not restricted.
ARPA interest is in this transfer to the sewer fund to help
Pay off suits,
the
okay, got it.
sewer fund
Yes, sir.
with some of its liabilities.
Yes, sir.
So ARPA is the funny one, right? We don't recognize it on our books until we
Cor-
spend the money.
Until we spend
Or
it.
commit it.
Correct. Spend,
Spend.
correct.
So we do have 3.5 million sitting in the bank, and that's not reflected here at all, correct?
Yeah, no, there's 3.5 million in the ARPA bank account. It's a separate bank account, and that's not here. These are revenues and expenses, not the balance sheet or the assets and liabilities of each fund.
And that 3.5 million is what we're taking the interest sweep on, right?
So
To
the,
back sewer.
right, the interest earned from inception, from when we have received all the funds through December 31st is 250,000, round, and we're going to use that to help the sewer fund.
Okay? Yeah, and I did want to comment while we're on sewer. If we owe the money, when we deplete that, we'll be able to lower those rates again?
Not if we have had an increase in capital expenses charged to the
I
sewer.
mean, that's
It'll have to be looked
years
at every
down,
year.
that's years down the road.
If you have extra money, you build up a little capital surplus, you
Yeah,
can go back.
and you'll have to look at it on a year-to-year case.
So Mike, the way it's worked for the last few years is the capital improvements for the sewer fund have been paid by other sources other than the sewer fund because they didn't have the money.
Sure.
I mean,
Cash.
again, they haven't paid their way, and we've used ARPA money, we've used some city capital funds, we've kept the sewer fund, we've supplemented it. So the numbers that we're currently looking at have no, if the increase were in place for a whole year, have no money in that budget for capital improvements. However, we've got $4.5 million.
Right, I was going to say, but my point is, at some point, if we could reduce the debt load on the citizens, I'd rather, once we get through that, is to pay that down and then come back and reduce that fee.
That's
and that's
years
what
down
we're
the
doing.
road.
Exactly right.
I mean, that's,
That's what we
yeah,
should-
I
that's,
mean,
y'all will be,
I didn't make the
Right.
mess, and we're going to clean it up, but, if we could, I don't know how much was it, $8.5 million or whatever? How much was it that they borrowed?
850.
$4 million?
Yeah, well, that goes for.
Do we know where that went? Do we know where that went?
Yeah, that was capital project.
No, we don't really know where that went.
a portion of the Wilson Street, so a good portion of the 4 million was in the previous administration, and we used about
250?
$1 million was on the
Oh, yeah.
Wilson Street project.
A
Yeah.
lot of consulting
So
work?
3 million to Stewart Consulting and those people. Okay, we'll just say the name, under Tina Mazzelli's administration.
Okay, well, anyway. We owe it, we got to pay it, but after that, I'd like to,
Well, what does that run, Todd? That's another like 10 years or more?
No, it's not more. Let me check.
I mean, it's $250,000 a year.
It's 8 or 10 years. Let me check, and I'll let you know by the end of the meeting.
Thank you.
We have it.
That means we made some significant pay downs because we ran it up to 4 million.
It's at 4, it was at 4 million full, or 3.9, 3.8.
And 10 years would only pay a principal of 2.5 million.
Right.
So
Right.
that'd
Let
be
me-
great if it's 8.
Let
Thank you.
me check, and I'll,
All right, page 29?
page 29 of 30, still on the sewer fund, 460. Again, the adjustments were to the salaries, and the overtime pay and the on-call bonus. Those accruals, again, were just not correct in the initial calculations.
huh?
So that covers the 2023 changes. Again, on the general fund, it does hit several different departments. The net bottom line on the general fund is $46,000. And some of the other funds, we went through all the edits on the other funds as well.
Okay. Done?
I've got some suggested amendments on the 2023 budget as presented in November.
I'm sorry, say again?
I've got some, I'm sorry, turn the
Suggested
mic on. I've got
changes,
some
I caught that.
suggested amendments on the 2023 budget as proposed in November. My changes are based off of this November budget, so they may have been incorporated in this one, and I'd like to just go through them and see if we can get those in. And I just want to make sure that I don't bring up a 24 change, so I'm marking those off real quick. All right, so, and forgive me, I didn't put the Excel line numbers in, but I can tell you where they are. I just put in the actual line item number. So the first one is in the Capital Projects Fund, Fund 341, 4113, 68,400. And I'll tell you, it's on page 26, I believe, or 27. And this is one that is incorporated in,
Capital Projects Fund, okay.
yes, sir, this is one that is incorporated in Todd's, or in the mayor's budget from yesterday. And I'd just like to, I don't know how we're going to do this. So Are we amending this budget? Are we amending yesterday's budget? What's the council's pleasure on that? Because if we're doing yesterday's, it's going to take a little bit longer on my end to figure out what the
My
changes are.
thoughts are,
Amend the one that was advertised?
if we're good, after you finish your review, if we're good with this budget that was issued yesterday, we can just
There's gonna
adopt it in its
Yeah.
entirety for 2023, in lieu of the advertised budget. It's a budget. We'd be adopting it,
Right.
and any advertised line items will be changed from the 2023 November spreadsheet to this spreadsheet.
December
Then
20th.
how about we do this?
Yes, sir.
How about I go to Fund 341,
Okay.
page 26, on the new, on the budget from yesterday. Well, maybe it's not 26.
Yeah, some of the offsets.
27.
Thank you. And I would propose that we amend line 892 to read $84,101.
892.
892,
Yes, sir.
what do you want to
Which
do?
column, sir?
Column G, I want to accept the highlighted change as an
Okay.
amendment to the budget.
Repairs to Royland?
Yes, sir.
If we adopt this budget in total by some mechanism, that change is already made.
I can't adopt the budget in total, so I think we've got to go line for line for change.
All right, so, come on.
Okay?
Give us
Then
the
we're going to
rest.
have to go line by line.
You want to change that number to what?
I want to
84,801.
84,101, accept what it is.
So we have made changes before that we didn't go line by line. We just said, per this schedule, we might have had 4 lines on it, it was adopted. So what would be the distinction if we, when I say adopted the total, we adopt the line items on here, yesterday's budget.
It's going to be easy to do.
Any changes from the November budget, we adopted here.
Let's go, he's got 20 changes, let's go.
Yeah.
Line items, let's go.
All right, come on.
That's one.
That's one.
All
Go.
right.
Let's see. Oh, that's a 24 as well. The, Todd, what I didn't notice is the transfer in from the sales tax fund into the capital fund. We didn't, we never, oh, yeah, we did. So you did make that change, right? You did recognize it, 127. It's just not a highlighted change.
Oh, to reduce it to 0?
No, to 418954, column I.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah. Yep.
so column I is a change from the original budget. We passed an amendment back in last year for the 2023 budget to include $418,954 in the fire capital fund as a transfer in from the sales tax fund. For some reason, it was never recorded in the 2023 budget, so this is fixing that. So I'll move to amend column I, row 891, to read $418,954,
Which is reflected
And,
here.
and,
which is
and
reflected there, yes.
And you're,
in the reflection on column I, it is, okay,
Yeah.
so,
and you're
We're
in
accepting
agreement-
that change.
oh, so you're just accepting it?
Yes, sir.
We're in agreement that it's 0 in column G, right?
Yes,
Yes.
column G should be
Yeah.
0, because
Yeah.
none of that money was actually spent.
Right.
When we get to the 24
That money's
budget,
still available.
right, that, when we get to the 24 budget, that'll carry over, which you see over there in column M. Okay? We made the same increase by 84,101 in column H.
What line, sir?
I'm sorry, we're back to line 892. We increased it in G, it also increased in H. just accepting that change.
117,820.
That's right, that's the correct number.
Okay?
Going to Fund 123, which is a sales tax fund. It's going to be on page 19, I believe. Fire sales tax fund, excuse me. Move to accept the change in column G and any corresponding changes that go with it.
G716 and G721.
I'm sorry, 716 and 721, you're right.
So which line, sir?
716 and 721.
Thank you.
Moving to accept those changes.
Accept. Okay?
Both of them.
All right, going to Fund 114, which is the trash
Department.
department. Yeah, I'm
What
sorry,
line?
Department 114. It's going to be line 375 and line 380. Those are the increases to the trash contract and the reflected increase in revenue.
2024.
Oh, those are 2024.
Yeah.
Good catch. I apologize.
Sure, accepting those?
No, not yet.
No.
Not yet.
I apologize. 24, 24, I have a lot of 24s on here. These are 24. 24. All right, I'm going to, let's see.
So what were we doing on that line?
Sanitation.
I'm sorry, that was 2024. I was,
That's not for 2022.
that's not for 2024.
Okay.
Now I'm going to Department 113. Give me a second, I'll give you the line item.
Give it the page.
Give me a second.
One second.
Oh. Got it.
What?
010113, 0103-113-30123. Column H.
What page?
Wait, what page, what number are you talking about? You just rounded up about.
What page?
13.
There you go. I'll let him go with the page.
Row 313, page 7.
Page 7,
Wait, page 7.
313. Okay,
Okay, thank you.
all right.
That 717 decreased to $375,000.
Where were we at?
You're
Line,
on page 7,
page 7, line
line
313.
313.
That was a transfer in from the fire sales tax fund.
717?
Yeah, that's the original number. We're decreasing it by to $375,000.
We
That's the
decreased it
actual?
to 370?
That's the actual?
That's going to be the actual, yes.
Repeat that 3,
Which column is changing, Jason?
Column H.
Column H.
repeat that number.
375.
375,000. 375,000.
So
That's going to change the rest of your lines.
are you and Todd in agreement on it? I'm just curious what Todd's comment is.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah, this is the first that I'm hearing some of these proposed comments.
What is the basis of that number? And then Todd can tell us the basis of the 717 number.
So the basis of that number is keeping the general fund revenue for the fire department even over the past 3 years. So
wow.
there was a, you asked me.
No, go ahead, I hear you.
There was a savings in the fire department. They did not use all of that dedicated revenue that was transferred in, and so it should be recognized to go back to the fund.
And you,
Is that
and you would change that to how much?
375,000. And there would be a corresponding increase in the sales tax fund, column H, to 375,000, to recognize that the full transfer out should not have been made. So that would be line Give me a second, I will give you the line number. That'd be line 725, column H.
725?
Yes, sir, line 725, column H, set at $375,000.
725, I'm sorry, I was
Yes, sir,
jotting a note. Thank
column
you.
H,
What do you want to do?
375.
$375,000.
Column
It's the
H.
corresponding increase and decrease between the two funds.
I'm on the wrong one.
And then,
Page 19?
Page 19, yes. That's line
That's only a little.
725.
just try to move along.
375.
So what column would change?
H.
H,
H.
Thank you.
717 to 375. And then back to Department 113.
All three of these go together. This is going to change a lot of stuff.
That's right. Back to Department 113, I would propose that we accept all of the expenses in the budget presented yesterday as presented here.
What line you on?
318 through 367, column H. 318 through 367, column H, propose that we accept those as presented
318 through
367.
367.
Except
Column H.
as proposed.
I would propose that we accept it as presented in yesterday's spreadsheet.
Okay.
Yesterday's.
So did y'all realize?
The one,
That's
the
this one we
December,
got right now.
the one with the yellow highlight.
So tell me your 375 right here coming from, on this transfer out to general funds.
All right, so you're on page 19?
Page 19, yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm actually explain this.
Okay. Page 19,
And I know it ties into this other one we did too.
it does. So that is the actual dedicated revenue that should have been used for 2023's budget. We initially projected that it was going to be $717,000. All of that money was not spent, and so I'm just reflecting it to be $375,000, which would cover the actuals for the year.
So you're keeping the general fund money static and replacing back to,
When you
Correct.
use the word dedicated, you're talking sales tax money?
Sales tax.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
sales tax. So this keeps the, and I'll tell you, it keeps the fire sales tax, or the fire department's general fund contribution, if we want to call it that. It's
Yeah.
not tracked as that, at $690,000, which is what it was in 2021.
keeping it static.
That's right. Yes, sir. And then I'll go to,
So if we're gonna do that, that's gonna shift everything for your other budgets, for all your other numbers,
Well, I mean,
for the whole budget.
Councilman Asbill's proposing it, that changes a whole lot.
it does.
But we're proposing line by line, so we're accepting this as line per line, or?
Well, we haven't accepted anything yet.
Okay.
No. Did we go through 2023's expenses to accept those as presented? Did we say that? And then I'll go to the ARPA
I'm
fund
sorry, Jason, accept 2023 expenses
as presented,
for what lines? I'm sorry.
the 318 through 367 for the fire department. Accept them as presented in this latest version of the budget.
So you're changing the number on these line items, and give me your version of this. Why are we changing this number?
So I think it gets to the discussion of how really the certain departments within the city should be funded. And certainly there's, the fire sales tax has been more than expected, substantially more than expected. The amount we collected in 2023 is more than twice what we estimated.
Okay.
And I think really it gets to to a conversation for the council to look at really which funds are the proper funds to use to fund the costs and the
So the
operations.
fire department's
of the
fully
fire
funded,
department.
right? The fire department's fully funded from the fire sales tax
And the
It-
property tax.
No,
and
sir.
the property tax?
So the fire department in the past has been fully funded from a combination of millage, of fees collected on the property tax bill, on a fire insurance tax that's collected through the Property Insurance Association, or whoever they are, and then also on the general fund to the contribution limit of $690,000.
So
So the idea,
back to Chief's comment, why would you say that the sales tax and the property tax don't fully fund your budget? I mean, I want to make sure I understand.
Because we don't use the sales tax to fully fund the budget. We move money over from the sales tax to do specific increases such as manpower and other increases in vehicle repair and maintenance and small equipment. And that does not fully fund our department. We get money from general fund revenue that's
Well-
non-dedicated.
Okay, but.
What you're saying is you're proposing. What the council does is what the council.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from.
Strictly in your hands.
No, I understand where you're coming from.
I guess what I'm trying to ask is, if the calculated fire tax or sales tax toward the fire, whatever it is.
Sure.
That particular tax, if it's bringing in twice what we anticipated, should there not be room? I mean, if we're struggling in other departments, I mean, why wouldn't we, shift some funds if they have all the funding they could possibly need?
yeah, so I'd make this the argument for any department. I'll tell you that the citizens, when they went out to vote, they voted for a 0.8% sales tax increase. They voted for $3.6 million in taxes over the past year and a half, okay? If we fully fund it, they voted for an increase, right?
Yeah.
Well, they voted for dedicated.
If we pass the budget as it's presented, they voted for $3.6 million in taxes, they're only getting the benefit of $2.9 million in
I don't
taxes.
follow you there, sir.
Okay, but listen, maybe I'm not a genius, but, I mean, if we're struggling in other departments, and they have twice what they anticipated, and they're fully funded.
Sure.
Everything was fully funded at the beginning of the year with the budget.
Well, I get it, but what I'm saying is,
Well, 2021 was 1.3. 2024 is 2.3. So you increased $1 million.
Yeah, no,
Right.
I agree that we.
You also took in 1.9
What I'm
million.
saying is
in
if
your
you
new tax.
back out general fund revenue, you're essentially, let's call it what it is, backdooring the fire department and what the people intended for that new revenue.
I don't think that was ever discussed with the people, that
Well,
the general funding would remain
You
static.
you don't think the people voted for an increase in revenue for the
They
fire
voted-
department?
They didn't, there was no discussion in the public domain about the general fund monies being static. There was no discussion. Y'all didn't discuss that.
I'm not even worried about that.
So the increase in revenue in the 2023 budget for the fire department was strictly from the fire sales tax revenue. That was the increase in the thing. We didn't spend that money on salaries, and we feel that it should go back from whence it came, the fire sales tax fund.
Yeah, I hear it.
I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, if you go to the people, and you,
How did
wait,
you get that way
could you just let,
with the rest of the?
just let me finish, just let me ask my
need
question.
that.
I'm not trying to get crazy, I just wanted to ask this question. So, from the standpoint of, if you went to the people and you said, hey, we need this money, and I'm a citizen like everybody else, if we're shortfall in the city budget, and there's a windfall of cash in one department, why wouldn't we just be a team player and play like a team?
That's exactly a statement that somebody that's trying to backdoor one department would make. Why wouldn't we be?
Well, I'm not trying to backdoor one department.
I've been a team player. I was a team player for the 13 years that I didn't get a pay raise, and these guys didn't get a pay raise.
Look,
That was a team play.
Look,
We've been team playing for 30 years trying to raise revenue for the fire department. We're finally there and recognizing that one of the first moves and one of the first years that we're collecting is that now the city's general fund revenue is being reduced to 348, 298.
I'm not trying,
690, 984.
listen, I'm not trying to backdoor anybody.
That's exactly what this is.
And I don't believe that, but
100%
what I am saying is that even if the general fund, what is the total department cost a year? What is it? Look,
Right a little over 2 million.
okay,
Your budget for 2024, your expenses is $1,981,000.
2.3 is the 2024 budget.
Expenses?
Expenses,
okay, so
2024.
2024.
2024 is 2.3.
No, we're talking about expenses.
Right. Expenses, 2.3, yeah.
Yes, I'm with you.
2.4 million. What is the fire tax revenue bringing and the other assorted fees?
It's going to bring in close to we anticipate 1.5.
So
Well,
your fire millage fee brings in 520,000.
Okay,
That's when you see.
So we have a lot of big,
Your
major
insurance
expenses
fee brings
in
in
the fire department that we have to prepare for as
Your
well.
fire fees bring in
Trucks.
50,000.
look, I'm not trying to backdoor any department, so let me make that clear. All I'm saying is I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. If I'm fiscally responsible for this budget, I want to make sure that we're getting everything that we need for the fire department, the police department, and every other department in the city.
So going forward, fire department last year, they put together a plan. Mr. Buddy actually had them put together a 25-year plan. They need to be able to work that plan based off of what they're collecting. If they're not,
that plan.
And that's
generated
fine.
With $800,000.
I understand that.
additional revenue.
So should we not get ahead of schedule on that plan? Because that plan anticipated using a 25-year-old truck for another 10 years.
Well, did we not buy a $1.5 million fire truck?
Sure you did, but you got another one coming up that also needs to be replaced.
Okay, so
Probably a tune of about 1.4 million.
and that's my question. So my question is, fully armed, you would say, and fully staffed, what is the cost for us yearly, annually?
Sir, if we were going to fully staff the department how it should be, we would need to go ask for more tax revenue. This wouldn't be enough.
That's what I'm asking.
Not fully staffed, just if we increase the 7 guys. I mean, that's,
What is our windfall of cash into the fire department right now?
So the ending balance, as it stands unadjusted, the ending balance at December 2023 is 1.4 million in the fire sales tax fund, slightly less than 1.4
Before
million.
making Councilman Asbill's,
Before any adjustments from Councilman Asbill, correct.
But we're anticipating for 2024, needing to transfer out what? I don't recall.
for 2024.
2024 is to collect $1.5 million.
To transfer out
And to transfer out,
987,000.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we're transferring out 987, we have a windfall of
There's no-
four something?
There's no windfall.
But I'm just saying, there's an
revenue that was
acceptable,
never discussed. The budget we looked at, the 25-year budget, I think, assumed about $800,000 in sales tax revenue. And the
Okay.
revenue's been more than double that.
So what has happened that we have collected more and then now we're going to start using some of that for the general fund?
No, not some of
General fund's
that.
not dedicated for anything in general. I know what you're saying before, you did get that because you never had this extra money coming in. Now that you have this extra money coming in, you do have extra money to fund some of your own stuff.
No, it's
You know,
not
and it
going to be
is.
to fund some of our own stuff. It's going back to fund other stuff in the city.
what?
It's a backdoor.
100% backdoor.
If you use.
100% backdoor.
Totally disagree.
I totally disagree with you and with you. Let me say this, and if you let me speak for a minute, let me speak for a minute. Years ago, when we passed the 5 mil for the police department, I made a statement, make sure if the police department budget was $1.9 million, if they raised $500,000 for that millage, make sure they got $2.4 million, they didn't backdoor them. Well, they got backdoor. They didn't get that $2.4 million. That's total backdoor. These guys here, And look, Mike, and look, you're new to this, to the politics, I know, and you're trying to do what's right. But I sit here and listen to you, and look, Chief, no offense against you, but I sit here and hear you talk about police, police, police. We need more police, we need this. These firemen have been neglected for years. Been neglected for
Look,
years.
I'm not saying, I've been
I
knowing
think
these
the
guys.
police department's been neglected.
That's
I'm
your
sitting here
opinion,
listening
Chief.
to this.
Well,
Let me
And I
finish,
tell you
Chief,
what,
then you can address
next
the issue when
time,
I'm
next
finished.
time you get a burglar that's
Chief, I'm
responding,
not
call the
saying-
fire department and have them
Chief,
come
I'm
out.
not saying
Because I'm not gonna have enough people to respond.
I'm not saying
If
that,
y'all wanna
Chief.
disfund the police department, y'all
No,
disfund the
Chief, I'm
police
not saying
department.
that, Chief. Chief, I'm not saying that.
Yeah, well,
Chief, I'm talking up for you, Chief. I'm talking up for you. Years ago, they tried to backdoor you guys.
Well,
And
I
I said
can-
that they shouldn't have done it. They did do it
well,
years
they
ago.
did, and now this department's
Well,
suffering
I'm
for
the
it.
chief, and I'm taking up for you,
And so
Chief.
it's okay for them to do it to us? What we
No,
need to do is
no,
stop.
Todd, no, that's not the
I'm not
case at
trying to-
all.
Chief,
What is
Chief.
that last comment about call the fire
Chief,
department?
Chief,
That's a-
I'm
that's
not
a-
trying to get,
Y'all-
I'm not trying to get
No,
you
it's
two
not.
guys against each other. We gotta work together, Chief. Chief, we gotta work together.
Yeah,
I'm not
what-
trying to do this. I'm just
Listen,
If the
saying.
department doesn't have enough funds to operate,
Hold on.
Chief,
Hold on.
we're
the sheriff
working-
will have
we're
to come in and
Stop
take it.
talking, please, for
Wait.
1 second.
Chief, we're giving you your money you need. You're getting your money you need.
All right, give him a chance to talk.
From the fire department.
No, Todd's,
amend this budget.
he's getting his money he needs. He's got, his budget's 2.5, maybe even more than that. He's getting what he needs.
If we amend the budget as proposed, we got to make cuts. So it doesn't balance unless you make the cuts.
I just think these guys are getting, they've been messed over for years.
In a position to need that revenue anyway. That shouldn't have been something that was ever needed. In the original budget, I mean, did we overspend in areas? Where did we overspend? Why is that 375?
Nobody said you
necessary?
overspent. The reality is
No,
we
the
bring
city.
in so
The
much
city.
revenue as a city.
The city overspent somewhere.
Well, I don't know that we
Somewhere it was
overspent.
overspent.
Our
You wouldn't need
expenses
that
went up.
175.
The health insurance doubled. We've had expenses
If
go
we
up.
accounted for
I
it
don't
in
think
our budget, did you not account for it in the rest of the
it
city's budget?
increased. Where's the money come from? We live with a set amount of money. If expenses go up and we don't have enough money to pay them,
So if you don't
then we
have it
need a
next
cut.
year, you're gonna reach back into to that? You're gonna cut our general fund revenue again?
I don't think the
So-
fire
so this
department
would be
has general
in
fund
2
money
years
pledged to it.
Between 2023 and 2024, what is proposed by the city right now would be $630,000 not given to the city that the city has typically contributed to the fire department. $630,000, 631.37.
Well, how do you say the city contributed to the fire department?
Because the city, we've always gotten a portion of the general fund revenue.
You have?
It's not a line that you ever can find in the budget anywhere. It doesn't exist. It just is what it is, right?
Yeah.
When you take your dedicated revenue and you take your expenses and you find the difference, the money that balances the budget back at zero is general fund revenue.
Which is exactly what
Can
is
I ask you-
happening here.
can I ask you a question?
We take your
Are we trying-
dedicated revenue and subtract your expenses.
No, what's happening here is that we had, that transfer in from sales tax didn't change from changing the money in the line items. We reduced these to reflect everything that we wound up doing throughout the year. We had employees that we lost, quite a few. We had employees that we weren't able to hire because they didn't have an academy till later in the year. We hired 4, there's only 1 that survived in the academy. We had 1 back at the station.
But-
So we reduced our expenses.
But my question is
What we
this,
didn't reduce was that sales tax revenue.
are we talking about taking away all their general funding?
No.
Or just reducing a
About half
portion of it?
A significant portion of it, yeah.
No, it's
Half
not a
of it,
significant, it's not half.
It's half.
It's roughly.
It's 300, it's
But
325.
I'm gonna say right now,
You've collected
Todd, you
2
coming,
million a year.
$348,000.
you coming in here fighting for your department, asking
have
for
to.
it?
I can't
That's your
go to work
job.
tomorrow.
That's your job.
I can't go to work tomorrow. if I
Him
don't-
coming
I
here
can't
fighting
put
for
my
his
head on the
department,
pillow
that's his
for
job.
30 years of work.
But for us to balance the budget for the whole city
It
is our
his
job.
I get that, but to take a shot at the fire department like that was cheap.
Take a shot at me and say, protect my house? Chief, you really showed your colors tonight. You really
I think we
did.
ought to stop.
You really did.
Let's
I mean,
talk
you
about
really
that.
did to say
I
to
think
protect
we
my
need to-
house.
All right, look, listen.
All right,
That really disappointed me, Chief.
Look.
I've worked with you, I've tried to support you and everything,
I can
and
tell you
work with
right
you,
now,
and for you to say that,
Mr. Butler's upset because he thinks we didn't come to a call when he had an issue at his house.
I can
I'm
tell you right
disappointed
now.
in you, Chief.
I'm not upset
Anytime I
about that.
receive a
I
call
made
from
a
the fire
comment.
or police,
Well,
they
it was
show
true.
up.
Look, y'all,
Had to make
we
a
just,
statement on it.
you can handle that
That
first.
is true. I never blamed you.
Sure, you
Who did I
have the
blame?
people.
can I just say something, please?
Yeah.
I mean, this is like frickin' hillbilly haystack in here right now. I mean, this is ridiculous. I was asking a simple question, and I'm gonna tell you, the integrity of me being called, you know, like I'm just trying to backdoor somebody is absolutely incredible. Because I'm gonna tell you, just let me finish.
Call it that, but it is
Let me
that.
finish saying, if we're trying to find funding, because we're at a shortfall, we're gonna look at every department. We're gonna look at every single piece. At least I am. I've been knowing you a long time. I know all these guys back here. But you know what? We're supposed to be a team. This ain't a team right here, I can tell you right now. And I'm gonna tell you,
Why didn't you come say something? Why did you have to hide it for Neil?
what are you talking about?
Ashley,
Sorry.
Ashley, I just looked at this budget with these guys up here, just so you know, okay? Okay, well, I just got it tonight. I was looking at it tonight. I want to get through it, and, you know, look, there's a lot of bad blood in here. I see it already, but I'm going to tell you, you ain't got no bad blood with me. I'm trying to figure this out, okay? Yeah. So all I'm saying is, if the department has an overabundance of cash right now and going into 2024, I mean, you know, could we? Should we? You know what I mean? That's my question.
Yeah.
And I want to get some answers.
So to answer the question, you absolutely could. Absolutely. Should you? I don't think so. Let me tell you why. I think it shows mistrust with the public. The next time this man needs to go out and ask for money, they're going to say, no way. We saw what you did to the fire department. We're not giving him all that money.
Well, first of all, this is from the general fund. You gave a tax to the fire
I
department.
understand, but if the man goes out and asks,
You're wrong. You're wrong. And you're wrong, too.
Cut.
I'm accused of backdooring the fire department. I'm just trying to ask a question.
put this budget together?
No.
Then you didn't back door the fire department.
Okay, thank you.
Vote for this? Then you did.
Okay.
for what?
Well, first of all, I run a business, and I've been doing it for 37 years. And I'm looking at this city like it's my business. I'm very successful at what I do, and I am going to tell you,
I'd like to finish my comment.
I'm listening.
Since we cut the camera off.
Yes, sir.
Comment was, yes, you absolutely could. Should you? No. Because the next time any department, whether it be police, sewer, anybody, goes and asks for funding, they're going to expect to see not only the funding the current funding they get now, but also what they vote for. They're not seeing that right now with this department if we pass the budget as is.
I'd like to make a comment. The discussions were that the sales tax was estimated to generate $800,000 a year. And the 25-year plan basically showed how that money would be spent and provide equipment and everything else. The sales tax revenue is projecting, has generated over double that. Over double that. And it was unanticipated, and there is no commitment to general fund any department. We gotta balance it.
I completely understand that, Mr. Buddy.
So there's another way to look at it.
But to your point.
I've got a let me finish. I've got a fiduciary responsibility to this city to use funds the way I think they should be used. My opinion can differ from yours. That's why we vote. We have 5 people. So nobody's a bad guy for having a different opinion. I know you didn't accuse anybody. I'm just saying, a person can have a different opinion with looking at the same set of facts. Happens all the time.
I agree. And so
So I've got a fiduciary responsibility to the city to utilize the money available as best we can and balance a budget. So we make these changes, this budget for 2024 is out of balance. And by the way, we've just run a deficit in 2023, a large deficit. So my point is, there were no commitments to the citizens made about the general fund. There was no discussion. There was a discussion about a projected $800,000 a year.
Sure, I talked to people on the phone, I campaigned for that thing.
You
Are you
can't,
gonna get all the money? Are you gonna get that? Is that gonna be in addition to what you get? Yes. That's gonna be in addition to what we get.
no.
That's what our campaign was.
That's the conversation.
In addition to.
I'm
Not-
sorry, I didn't
not
hear
we're
that,
gonna
and
get
I
this
didn't make
money
that
and the city's
commitment.
gonna get big eyes and take some of it, and we're only gonna portion of it, which I get you can justify that you're getting it. Sure, it's showing up in transfers in from sales. But when that number changes, that's a backdoor, I don't care what you call it, that's what it is. And yes, it was in addition to, that's what we campaigned on.
So to answer Mr. Buddy's response regarding what it does to the 2023 budget, it does put the 2023 budget in a deficit. We'd have to go back and figure out how to balance it. I did,
No, it's factual.
I
You
did-
change that allocation, you're in a deficit. You can't change history now.
I did not, well,
I'm
but, yeah, no, I get it.
saying, it's a statement.
That's right.
I get it. I didn't make any changes to the 2024 budget. The changes I'm going to make to the 2024 budget actually balance the budget out and provides, based on the copy of the budget that we received in November, it balances the budget out and provides the police with additional funds as well as the retirement match to fund the retirement match for the cities.
Not if you back that up.
Excuse me? Oh, yes, sir, it does. Yes, sir. For 2024, it does. It'll balance out. When we get there, it'll balance out.
Well, when we get there.
Okay, so Jason has some proposed amendments. Do we have a second on the proposed amendments?
Oh, yeah, I'll second, I'm sorry.
So we have a second on the proposed amendments. We're going to take a vote on the amendments. All in favor of Jason Asbill's amendments, Councilman Asbill's amendments?
Yeah.
Yay.
Nay.
Hey. No. Jason Asbill's motion fails. Now we're going to vote on the 2023 budget as in the ordinance. All right, all in favor?
So I will, just more discussion. You rejected all of my amendments. There were amendments in there that were affecting other
No,
departments
well-
and other funds. You did. You
We
rejected all.
did.
Yep.
We did. But the
That's right.
changes, just, I'm gonna repeat again. All the changes except the sales tax fund, I think, are already incorporated in the 2024 budget.
No, sir, they're not.
2023.
2020, no, yeah, 20,
2023.
No, sir, they're not.
other than the sales tax fund, what was it?
There was ARPA funds. There were,
The ARPA change wasn't in here?
no, sir, it was not reflected it was not reflected in either version of the budget. Is that right?
What ARPA change? The 87,000 that the
Correct.
council voted on this evening, that was not in any version of the budget, no.
Well, yeah, it's just got to get put in there. That's not
Correct.
something, that's a eight, that's, yeah, that's a.
It's already
23.
passed through the ordinance, right?
I
That's
think
what y'all
we-
voted, so I don't think we need to add it to the
Yeah, I don't
budget.
think we do either.
To these documents, because it's already passed through the ordinance.
Okay, so we're going to vote on the 2023 ordinance as proposed. All in favor?
Nay.
Let's have a discussion about that. The 2023 budget as proposed in the budget document issued,
You've got to go through the
Yeah.
amendments, Mr. Buddy.
You're
You're going to have to go through the amendments.
well, I would put to you, because I would say, I propose we modify the budget advertised on lines 7 through 1018 to reflect the numbers in the budget produced yesterday.
So you're bringing this from the floor, is that right? Does that require a unanimous vote to bring this new budget from the floor?
I don't know, we've never done that before in a budget amendment.
This is amendment, not a...
This
All right,
is,
so,
we've never done that before, Jason.
Mr. Buddy, we have consistently, as a council, going back before this council even, we've consistently, as a council, said that we should not pass budget amendments that have not been advertised. Consistently have said that.
I think we've passed budget amendments that weren't advertised.
Well, that is wrong,
I think
first
we've
of
done
all.
it. I recall we've done it.
But we've consistently said that we should not. And now we're going to pass over $200,000 worth of expenses increased, and a general, and an ending fund balance of $40,000 that's decreasing.
So,
It sounds deceitful to the public,
Okay.
and I don't like it.
one option for the council to consider is just to vote on the original budget as published to the public in November, without any edits. So that's an option for the council to consider. At least for the general fund, and then maybe if you wanted to make a floor amendment for one or two specific amendments in the smaller funds.
Well, I have,
I disagree.
I would move to reconsider the motion to defer from earlier
Oh,
to a special meeting on December
I
22nd.
disagree with Councilman Asbill. I think we can vote on the budget as amended, even with amendments, as long as they're read into the record. That's what we're here for tonight. That's what we're here to do.
And what I just proposed was the same method that Councilman Asbill proposed for the expenses
Exactly.
for the fire department. Multiple lines with a comment. So
All right, so you're going to make a motion to,
I would make a motion to modify, amend the budget advertised for lines 6
I had a motion to reconsider.
through, okay. I thought we voted on it.
I had a motion to reconsider. It was
I'll
not.
second it.
actually, believe it or not, Tom had his motion first before you had a motion to reconsider. Go ahead, Councilman.
A motion to reconsider primes.
I propose that we amend the budget as advertised for lines 6 through 1018 to reflect the budget issued, the draft budget issued yesterday.
Okay, I just.
Oh, no,
say-
what was the date of it? The date was,
Original date's 11/22/23.
the date,
10:09
the date,
a.m.
Todd, that the
second.
budget
I'll second it.
created.
I just point of order, I had a motion and a second before Mr. Tom had a motion and a second.
You made a motion while Tom was in the middle of a motion. His motion trumps your motion.
It doesn't. A motion to reconsider primes. But we'll go ahead and vote on the motion. You deny my motion, we'll go ahead and vote on his motion.
So I think I've read it.
Okay, so yeah, we have a motion by Councilman Buddy, second by Councilman Ricks, to read into the budget as amended to reflect adjustments on the budget as advertised. We have a second by Councilman Ricks. All in favor?
Hold on. So
Yay.
the budget that was advertised is the budget 11/22/23, 10:09 a.m. The new budget we amended it to is going to be 12/20/23, 2:38 p.m. Correct?
Correct.
I'm fine with that clarification.
Okay, all in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
Nay.
Yay. 3
Nay.
yeas, 2 nays. Madam Clerk, it passes. Now we're going to vote.
Point of information, I'd like this new budget for 2023 posted on the website by 10 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Absolutely. All in favor to approve that, all in favor to approve ordinance as amended under Councilman Buddy's request, seconded by Councilman Ricks. All in favor?
Yay.
Nay.
3 yeas, 2 nays. Madam Clerk, ordinance 2023-31 passes. 2023-32.
Proposed ordinance number 2023-32. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Chatelain and seconded by Councilman, who would like that?
I'll second it.
Ricks. An ordinance adopting the annual budget of revenues and expenditures for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2024 for the city of Harahan, Louisiana.
Okay, anyone want to
Council,
speak?
again, I'd make a motion to defer this. To be honest with you, I didn't even get to the 2024 after all that time I spent on 2023. I make a motion to defer to December 27th at a special meeting at 6 PM.
I'll second it.
Let me open for public hearing. Open for public hearing on proposed ordinance number 2023-32. No one coming forth. Now we'll close 2023-32. We have a motion on the floor by Councilman Asbill, second by Councilman Johnson to defer. All in favor?
Yeah.
Yay.
So it's 3 nays, 3 yeas, 2 nays?
Who voted nay? I voted nay.
Nay, nay, and yay, yay.
No. Nay.
Yep, nay, nay.
Three nays.
Yeah, yep, 3 nays, 2 yeas.
Right, so it's not deferred.
Okay, so it's not deferred. All right, Madam Clerk, 2023-32 budget, we'll hear it. If you got amendments, we've opened for public hearing. Let's go to council discussion.
I'd like to go through it with the finance director because it's also got changes that we didn't discuss previously.
I might ask the council again, perhaps, to consider passing the original budget for 2024 as advertised on 11/20 with limited modifications, like sanitation that we know has modified, for the council to consider, or we can go, I'm happy to go line by line through each of these.
And I'm going to be proposing some potentially larger amendments to the 2024 budget as presented yesterday. So, however, we can pass the budget, but I would expect it amended.
You want to make an ordinance to go ahead and pass the budget now and to be amended?
I want to talk it through and think it through a little bit.
Okay.
I agree.
There are some significant changes I'm going to propose, may or may not pass. But I don't see technically a problem with passing the 2024 budget as presented here on the December 20th, 2024 budget, utilizing the same method to amend the one that was advertised, and then scheduling a special meeting after January 10th, after the mayor gets back and is available.
I'm fine either way. I'm fine. You could take this budget right here and defer and amend it without the mayor. Or you wait
No,
till the mayor gets
but
back.
there's going to be amendments that are changing, and some substantial amendments that I'm going to propose, and I would prefer if the mayor were here. It's his budget that we're voting on. It's his proposed budget.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor by Councilman Buddy to vote on proposed ordinance as advertised for 2024. We have a second by,
We still in
Hold on,
discussion.
hold on. Are you proposing that we adopt this whole thing as is right now? Or do you want to go through some amendments and discussion? I'd be careful, because there's $300,000 in here that the police department's trying to spend in capital. There's a carryover for fire department capital that needs to be transferred. There's the senior center funds that need to be allocated in capital. We need to get through some of those.
I'm happy to fix all of those, but as Todd said, we don't have to fix it tonight. I'd like to sit here and fix it.
Then
I
let's
don't know
do
if we
that.
can do it in an hour and a half, but I'm game.
It-
I'd like to go through this budget.
We have an hour and a half, let's do it.
Or we can pass something and then readdress it in mid-January.
I would prefer to get through what we can now, and if there's something that we've got to change in mid-January, let's do that.
if you want to make a motion, Tom, it's your motion or not?
No, let's go through the 2024, line by line.
I'll second.
I propose that we amend line 885 to accept the amendment of $300,000. Chief, you want to talk a little, Chief Lepre, you want to talk a little bit about what that $300,000 is going to?
885, did you say?
Yes, sir. It's capital, Chief. Okay.
885.
Is that right? Is that right? I'm sorry. Yeah, 885.
Page 27.
It's highlighted. You see it, Mike? You see it? Oh, I thought you were asking a question.
No, it's not.
Oh, I apologize. I thought that was
The
you.
300,000?
885.
I don't remember what that's for, chief. Give me a minute. Yep.
For 5 additional vehicles? That's outfitted? That's all in
Yeah.
for 5 vehicles, $60,000 apiece? Okay. That's what it's for. I propose to accept the amendment.
Okay, so we're going to take these one by one.
Yep.
All right, so we have,
So what is the discussion on line?
Our vehicles on $300,000 and the capital project expenses for the police department.
okay, so we're going to, Councilman Asbill has a motion to
Vehicle slash.
amend the 2024 budget. State your amendment, Councilman Asbill.
Excuse me?
Can you please state your amendment?
Sure. I move to accept the change in line 885, column N, $300,000 for police department vehicles and outfitting those vehicles with equipment.
Okay, so we have an amendment
second it.
stated by Councilman Asbill.
So we're changing the budget as advertised.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Change it to, okay, got it. All right, do I have a second on Councilman Asbill?
Councilman Buddy seconded.
Councilman Buddy, second. All right, all in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
While we're here, can we get the other adjustments to
Yep, I'm on
capital?
line 891. That's a carryover from 2023 that wasn't used, $418,954 for fire department capital project.
I'm sorry, where were we, Jason? I didn't catch
Right
it.
here,
Line 891.
one capital projects, $418,950.
It's the carryover from last year that wasn't spent. They presented the items that they were going to be purchasing back in the end of 2022, and they've actually have some of those items on order. They're just waiting for them to come in to spend.
So,
I move that we accept that change on line 891, column M.
the 418,000.
Yes, sir.
All right, second, proposed change by Councilman Asbill, 418,000, second by Councilman Chatterling. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
Line 905, column M. There's an increase of $375 from the original advertised budget. That is the city's match, the parish.
$375,000.
What'd I say?
$375.
Oh, I apologize. Okay. $375,000 for, that's the city's match, the parish's match, and the state's money on the senior center. I propose that we accept that change.
So column M changes to 375?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilman Asbill, second by Councilman Ricks, to accept the change of $375,000 for the senior center. All in favor?
Yeah.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
You say match.
Yeah, the $125,000.
125, 125, and 126.
Okay.
Okay, that's all three.
It's $1,000 off. We'll add it in.
Yeah, we can,
I don't think we need to worry about $1,000.
No, we
I
don't,
agree.
I'm just asking what you told me, you said match.
Oh, that was all the matches together.
Matches
Yeah.
together.
125
Yeah, all the matches together. I'm going to page 19. I think. Yep. So let me get your line item. I was going to give you my line item, but let me get yours. Line 19 should say 1.5 million. That's the updated projection and sales tax, conservative projection and sales tax for the fire department. Column M.
Line 19, sir?
No, I'm sorry, line 716, page 19.
Thank you.
716?
Line 716,
Oh, that was 716.
column M.
Yeah.
That's projected.
That's projected
tax.
sales tax revenue for the fire department next year. It is a conservative projection. We talked about that earlier. I would move that we accept that change.
I'd
Second.
like to discuss this before we accept it.
Okay?
Okay.
That's it's over a 25% reduction from 2023's actual.
It's conservative.
Well, it is conservative, but I think it's over conservative. What's the justification?
I felt, one of the things that I discussed, that we should project it at 130 or 136 a month, which would have been 165 or something like that. In the discussion when we had our meeting with Mr. Tunio, we felt that a conservative projection and that we didn't want to over-project. And we felt that 1.5 would be comfortable, that we could do what we needed to do in this fiscal year by projecting that and then adjust it at the end of the year as the money comes in.
Yeah.
I would agree with that because you got a presidential election year. So I think that's going to be.
So the reality is, this number doesn't affect the
What we're-
proposed budget.
No, sir.
Right,
At all.
right.
Okay.
It's
It's
just,
just a number that's there that we can correct later. as it
yes,
comes in.
yes. So I'd like to make the comment, and I'm not sure if Eric heard it, may have. This doesn't affect the fire department's proposed expenditure budget at all.
Great.
It just changes a budget number. So I don't know that I have a problem with that, except I think it's going to be more than that substantially, based upon history.
I don't know about substantial, but I think it's going to be.
Yeah.
I hope it's substantial,
I second his motion.
Okay.
but not so substantial to get everybody up here excited.
We have a motion by Councilman Asbill, second by Councilman Chatterling, to accept item, page 19, line item 176 of 1.5 million sales tax revenue for the fire department. All in favor?
Yeah.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
All right, we're going to page 9. Want to move to accept the line, what is that? Help me out here. 376?
354? Oh, no, sanitation?
Sanitation.
I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Line 376, column M, accept that change of $837,462. That's reflective of the increase in water bill trash collection fees.
Can you give me that number one more time?
$837,462.
On 376.
All right, so 374, 376.
Line 376.
Got it. All right, so we have a motion on Councilman Asbill to accept on line 376, column M, the trash and sanitation collection and sewer for $837,462. A second by Councilman Chatterling. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
Also, just a couple lines down, line 380, move to accept the change of the new garbage contract of $1.116 million. You'll see that it evens out with the revenues. It's a
Can I make a comment before we do that? Did we not just pass a half a year's revenue of $350,000, and why don't we add it in here right now?
That's in the sewer, that was in the sewer fund.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right?
Yep.
Yes, it was. Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilman Asbill to accept line 380 with the 1.16 million in trash. We have a second by Councilman Ricks. All in favor?
Yeah.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
So what that does, council, it frees up $110,000 in subsidizing the trash contract, $110,042. I would move that we accept all of the retirement line items, which amount to retirement match line items for across all the departments, all departments, which amount to $34,227.
Could you repeat that, please? I didn't follow you.
Sure, so that garbage adjustment
Yeah.
frees up $110,000.
Right.
I would propose that we accept the retirement match across all line items, which amounts to $34,227.
That's the part I'm not following, and I know I'm dense, but the $110,000 I understand, and you're allocating it across line items, and it's $34,000.
That's just a portion of it. That's a piece of it.
So,
$34,227 is going to retirement match.
The city retirement match?
The city's retirement match across all departments except fire.
that you just voted on tonight, right?
Yeah, that we just voted on tonight.
So 34,227 goes to the fire department.
No,
34,227 is going to the retirements for the city employees.
non-civil service, non-elected
Non-civil
employees.
service employees. The retirement benefit.
Ordinance we voted on tonight.
Do you want the line items? We can,
Yeah, I think we,
okay, let's go over the line items.
It's a bunch of line
It is a bunch of line items.
Because it's every department.
Sorry, you don't need it.
Where we had the 4% now.
yeah, I know what it's for. I'm good with that. I don't know if I like the method we're doing it, but,
Is there another method to do that?
well,
We'll go one by one.
there's going to be all the other items that Councilman Asbill's not discussing, all the other changes.
There's nothing I've changed so far impacts the budget balance. Is that right?
Correct. Well,
Can we agree on that?
Yes.
I think so.
The first thing I've done that affects the budget balance is the trash, which frees up $110,000.
Right.
And now you reallocate.
Now I'm reallocating that $110,000.
To the
$11,250 is going to line 194. $1,746 is going to 287.
$434.
Thank you. $9,318 is going to line 434.
$488.
How much was that, sir?
9,318. Is that 378? No. 4,888 is going to line 488.
What was that? Line?
488, yeah.
Line 488,
It's getting $4,488.
$4,888.
I'm sorry, $4,000.
It's a lot of fours and eights.
574.
Line 574 is getting $3,749. Line
622.
622 is getting $3,276. I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Wait, was that sewer?
No, sewer's in the back.
Sewer, yeah.
Sewer's in the
I
back.
did that one already then. Yeah, that was the first one because I started.
Okay, any discussion?
Yeah, the budget submitted yesterday, as opposed to the budget we're both working on amending, allocates all of that money. It recognizes the $110,000, and it balances with the expenditures. And I don't know that these are the numbers that are in the December budget, the last budget.
We still got $70,000 to allocate,
Yeah.
roughly.
Yeah, there's still $69,000. Actually, there's $815,000 to allocate.
Yeah, well, let me see, if I'm probably not making this clear. The December budget, as opposed to, we're working on the November budget right now, changes.
No,
December budget,
I'm accepting the December budget.
He's accepting the December budget.
I'm
but
accepting the
making
December budget.
change-
That's what we're doing so far. We're accepting the December budget
Making the changes.
changes.
Making the changes to take the $110,000 savings in the garbage contract and dispersing it over the match for the employees
Well,
of City Hall.
let me make a comment. The December budget already funds the line item for the civil service.
Right.
Non-civil service retirement fund. It's already done. That money was pooled, it did that, and money's fungible.
Or reallocate.
Something funded at 34,000, and something funded some other things by freeing up that 110,000. Because this December budget recognized that $110,000 net savings.
Am I lost? Or am I doing this wrong, or is, I think we're just accepting the changes.
You're accepting the
Right.
changes. We're agreeing that the 24 budget covers it.
Right.
He's just accepting the changes so we can vote
And this
on
is
it.
the same
specific line.
process we did
So
for
we can vote on it.
2023,
Just
right?
on the match.
Okay, well,
110 goes to the
all right.
match for all the employees, non-civil service.
okay.
Okay, I would propose, this is where it gets a little sketchy. I would propose that we increase the police salary line items, the salary line items, by $69,000 to add a patrol officer.
Where is that line item, bud?
Oh, that is, it's on page 8.
277.
Yeah. I'm lying, page 7. I lied. So 277 through 293. Proposing that we reallocate $69,000, which is a savings from the trash contract, to the police salary line items. And that's based off...
69,000.
69,000, and that's based off of the chief's estimate that an employee costs $68,253.
So 277, we're going up 69,000.
No. 277 through 293. It's up to the number crunchers to figure out
Okay.
where it goes
69.
within those lines.
So that's the balance of what's left
So-
in the savings.
When we do that, we've just thrown the rest of the budget out of balance. 69,000.
No, I still have,
Yeah, we did, because
we
we
still have
changed.
$6,815 to allocate to column M on line 2.
The garbage collection numbers
234.
in here at the final number. The net savings are spread through this December budget. And you can't piecemeal something, you can't increase 69,000 in a line item, a particular line item, without reducing other line items by 69,000, or you throw the December budget out of balance.
Mr. Buddy, we increased revenues in the trash department.
Yes, but it's already in this December budget,
I know that. We've accepted this.
and the money's already allocated. You can't allocate it twice. It's allocated
The
in the
money's
December budget.
allocated in the ones that we're accepting.
Well, what about, my
We just
you're
going
gonna have
by
to-
what's reflected on the 2024.
Yeah.
He's just going
Is
by
he
what's
confused or am I
reflected on
confused?
no, the
12/24.
$69,000 increase
It's
for
already
the
in
police
there.
department,
2023, the reflection is the 2024 budget, we're going to save 110,000. That 110,000 is going to be dispersed over the match program and an additional officer.
okay.
He's
I'm
taking it
just
from
saying.
this one
Right.
and bringing it to this one.
Right.
Wait,
we're just doing
which
line
one-
item
which
by
one's
line
in your
item.
hand there?
He's taking it from the November one to the
Correct.
December one.
Correct.
We're just doing line item by
Line by
line
line.
item, so we follow the guidelines.
Correct.
So,
Yeah.
hold on.
And the council can approve or not approve the highlighted changes.
So that's how, those are changes that add up to 110,000, the ones we're
Almost.
talking about.
Almost.
Right.
60, I've got $6,810 to add to the police training and education line item. And that'll balance out the $110,042.
I'm probably a little dense. If you change any of the numbers in the allocation of the December budget, if you increase any
I'm
of them,
not changing any of the numbers in the December budget.
okay, but I thought you said there was
I'm
one more.
accepting the numbers in the December budget.
Only the highlighted items that Councilman Asbill has brought up for discussion, right?
Correct.
Councilman Asbill?
The line
Right.
items we talked
So,
about.
right.
So,
Yeah, what we saying, what line item is the 6,000?
The 6,000
hold
is
on.
gonna go.
I'm going to move to accept the changes in the police salary line items, which are 277 through
Which line is that, sir?
293. 277 through 293.
I'll second that.
All right, we haven't, just FYI, we haven't accepted the retirement line items yet either.
We didn't?
No, because I don't have the vote count written on it.
So,
So we'd have to go back there first.
Okay, I apologize, Mr. Buddy. We're going to go back to accept apparently we didn't vote on the salary line, the retirement match line items. I'm going to move that we accept the changes to the retirement match line items as presented in the December budget.
I'll second that.
Okay, so we have a motion by Councilman Asbill, second by Councilman Chatelain to reallocate retirement line items as proposed in the latest one of the budget.
As proposed in the
12/20/23.
12/20 version. Okay.
All right, all in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
All right, 5 yeas, 0 nays. Now we're going to do the
Police salary.
The police salary. We have a motion by Councilman Asbill, second by Councilman Chatelain, on lines 277 to 293,
Thank you.
to add a $69,000 increase. All in favor?
Yay.
Wait. Say that again?
Yep.
Yep, line 277 to 293 is to add another funding for another police officer for Harahan
So-
Police Department.
Give me 1 second to look at this, because I just may not be following what is being said. Give me a second.
Somebody tell me if I'm confused, because,
You're not.
okay.
You got it.
Councilman Asbill, this 69,000
He's looking
is
at,
basically
line
an
items
increase from the
277 to
November 20
293.
budget, right?
So the salary line item for line 276 in the November budget was $1.2 million. I'm sorry, hold on. Never mind. 1,272,000.
I'm just allocating $69,000 across column M from the November budget to the police salary line items,
1, 2,
however that falls out.
2. Well, the original 2024 budget proposed in November budget was $1,272,339. The budget in this December budget for that same line item is $1,372,339.
I'm proposing
That's-
that we increase,
That's $100,000.
I'm proposing that we increase the November budget as presented, $69,000 across the departments, across the salary line items.
Right.
So you're going to increase the police chief's salary to, no, police chief's salary, the police department salary line
Yes.
to less than what's in this budget, the December budget.
69,000.
No, it's going to be less than what's in
It'll
this
be
December
less than
budget.
what's in the
Yes, that's
December.
correct. It'll be less.
Correct.
It'll be less.
December budget, yes, it will be less.
But, so,
So what you increase this budget to?
I added one police officer,
264, 4299, is that what?
the increase.
If I'm on the right budget, I mean, I got two budgets here. The budget was 2571, 299.
His new.
Is that the one we're on?
His new wage, so, all right, here we go. Column two, line 294, column M. On the November budget is going to increase by $69,000.
It's going
Right.
to be $2,640,299. Or we're in the same line, or we're in the same budget.
No, sir. What is-
So we're not in the same budget.
Okay, you got this right.
This right here, so we're at the right budget. So that's the budget. Okay, I want to make sure I'm on the right budget. We had two budgets here. I want to make sure I'm on the right one.
2,170,000 for salaries.
Going up to 2.230. Is that right? No, that's not right. Here we go, doing math. No math on the board.
Which, it's 69,000 even, or it's like 69,000?
69,000.
Even. So it's,
so how did you come to that being the magic number to fund the officers that the chief is proposing?
The chief asked for one additional officer, and that proposal came at $68,250.
Well, what is the bottom line? His budget, the bottom line on that page is,
Of all officers,
yeah,
2,046. 2,046,000.
no, just salary.
Yeah, salary and expenses. Salary and salary expenses.
No, just salary, please. There's a line item there for just salaries, isn't there, total?
It's,
Well, all of this.
It's $1,364,000.
1,364,000, but that doesn't include the
1,364,
chief,
without the chief.
1,364,000.
plus the chief.
I know that, but I'm looking at a line item here in his,
What he's saying is, we gotta add 69,000 because this is all a breakdown.
I'm just focusing on this line right now.
Me too. That's
Base pay.
That's what I'm telling you, this is all part of the.
Now, that's all the direct
22, 339,
labor-related costs.
plus
I'm
69,
talking-
2,239,971.
All of this is driven from-
1341.
If we're gonna put it here and put it down here.
What is it?
13, if you put all the 69 in salaries, it's
Well, in salary, he's got
1,041,331.
benefits.
That's what I was just.
He's got benefits and everything, not all salaries, it's benefits and everything.
That's why he said from line such and such to such
Right.
and
Say it from line
I'll spread
277
it.
to 293.
All of this is
Spread it
part
out.
of.
Right.
such. Todd's gonna split that up, how it needs
Right,
to
but
be
the
broken
total
down.
is 2,
I know.
2,239,971.
Todd's gonna break it out
Right.
for the expenditures.
So, however we want to do it, I'm looking at, I'm gonna make it easy. On the November budget,
Make it easy. No making it easy up here.
I'm increasing the November budget, $69,000 between lines 276 and 291. That's my motion.
Okay, so that budget was 2,170,000, and I'm just gonna use some round numbers, 2,170,000, and you're increasing it by 69,
Yes, sir.
correct?
2,239,000.
2,239,000.
Yes, sir.
And the finance team will split that up.
So the
Quarterly
budget
to
we're
these line
looking
items.
at, issued in December, that totals 2,331,000.
I'm not,
There's a $100,000 delta.
I don't know where that's coming from yet.
Well, it was driven off of, I think, the police chief's base pay.
No, I don't think,
That budget's a
I don't
request.
think you used this in your budget calculation. Mayor, did you use this
We-
in your budget calculation?
So the 13,
It's really close, within
70,
a couple of
so
thousand.
the list, the employee list prepared by the police department that has, I believe, 4 open positions currently and 1 new position, it's $1,364,000 is the
Correct.
total on that list of just salaries.
And what we have on the December budget is $1,372,000. So it's
So
$8,000 difference.
This proposal will have us slightly short for
Well, that's
open
the-
positions or turnover
Yeah,
or
I don't know.
other.
Yeah, I was taking the additional and putting in training. If we want to put it all in salary, because that's the $6,000 difference, or $8,000 difference. I was taking the police, the top line up here.
Yep.
Salary and expenses, 69,000, putting in salaries. I was taking the additional 6,800 and putting it in training and education, but I didn't realize it was calculated somewhere else. I mean, we can put it wherever you want.
Yeah,
Chief.
but my point is, if we just move, if we,
Well, no, the 69 will cover all of your,
They should have had that.
yeah, the 69 will cover all your salary and expenses line.
Right, because it's like 40,
So the
41,000.
so the question becomes, that I asked you earlier, do you want an extra $6,800 here, or do you want it somewhere else? I'll put it wherever you want it.
Well, I think it needs to go into training.
Right.
well, hold on. The December budget for the police department expenses is $2,331,000. If we use the November budget and add $69,000, it only comes out to $2,239,000. There's a cut of $92,000 in the budget, as proposed in December.
All right, well, there's no cut. There's an increase of $160,000 over 2023.
No, I'm saying there's a cut as proposed in November. I'm sorry, December. In
So
this
where's
budget,
that money coming from?
it balances. The 2008 budget balances. The December budget balances to zero.
It-
So to move So like I'm saying, when you start moving,
Oh, 2024 budget's pretty big.
Right.
Shall we go to my other changes first?
Yeah, let's, come on, we're not gonna make it.
Right, so
If we keep going.
my suggestion for, again, for the council to consider is continue down the path of taking the budget that was advertised November 20th and make the known, necessary, limited adjustments to that this evening, and maybe not focus on every little minute change that we made in the December budget. We won't finish, I mean, certainly I'm open to do whatever the council wishes, but I don't know that we would finish if we go line by line and try to adjust to all these
I'm
yellows.
fine to vote on that, we move forward. If we do that, as just discussed, we're cutting the 2008 Police Department budget as proposed in December by $100,000. Just saying.
2008.
I'm sorry. The December budget, as provided here, totals $2,331,000. If we use the November budget, which is $2,170,000, and we add $69,000 to it, we have $2,239,000. That's a $92,000 reduction from the budget that Todd put together
Aren't we
for the
working
chief.
on 1220?
Sir?
Aren't we working on a 1220 issue budget right now?
Is what Tom's saying is
12.22.
correct? Is what he's,
Yes, yes. But the other part of that is if we focus on the 1220 budget, we'll have to go line by line, and I don't see how we'll finish in 40 minutes, 45 minutes.
Well, we're going to get,
I agree.
a significantly different looking document, changing a few line items. And we'll be,
We can change the known items like sanitation, which we know
We did that
are
one.
significant, right? Or we can keep going line by line, whatever the council prefers.
how many more we got left?
this last allocation for the $110,000 is problematic.
Okay, we'll just skip past that one.
I mean, the council's going to vote on it. I can't skip past it. Jason's proposing it.
Okay.
So I'm just saying that it's going to throw a budget out of kilter. The December budget as proposed will look significantly different if we do this last proposal on the $110,000.
All right.
And the other changes that were made for in the December budget, I don't know why that changed from the November budget, but there's a significant difference. So it was some fine tuning, and I don't think somebody did that willy-nilly. They had to have a reason for
Was
it.
that the pay period thing again?
No.
No, this is,
Something else, okay.
this is
That is a,
200,
if we get into the discussion, again, that is a reduction in the
I
fire
get it.
department's general fund contribution.
wait, I'm sorry, say that again?
That is another reduction in the fire department's general fund contribution,
What is another reduction, sir?
where the difference is made up. You're saying there's a $90,000 difference, right? That's where the extra, that's where it's coming from. Is it? That's where it's coming from.
All right. So what are we going to do?
I would propose that we accept the increase to give the police department another police officer,
What do I need to do? Second that?
if you would, please.
Yes.
All right.
Second.
All right, so a motion by Councilman Asbill to add $69,000 to page 7, line item 276 to 293, in the amount of $69,000.
Yeah.
Second by Councilman Ricks. We'll open for public hearing. No one coming forth. We'll close public hearing. All in favor?
Yeah.
4 yeas, 1 nay. Amendment is accepted.
So we just
Oh, you
amended.
voted nay, too?
We just amended the two.
All nay.
I voted nay.
You did?
Yes, sir.
nay.
Yeah.
3 days, 2 nays?
No.
I voted nay.
What'd you vote?
One.
I voted yea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought-
One. Let's go, next.
So we just amended the November budget?
How did you do?
Yes, sir.
So all these amendments are to the November budget? Okay.
It's basically getting them to match the
No,
December.
no,
It's a little off.
It, it's going to cut the police department's budget by $92,000 as proposed in
It's-
December.
It's not a cut. It's an increase.
As proposed in December, it's a
Sure, but we
cut.
can't consider, we're not considering
My
that,
statement is
Mr. Tom.
completely accurate, Jason.
Sure,
As
as-
proposed in December.
Sure.
Everybody don't get what they asked
As
for, they
proposed-
propose what they
as
want.
proposed in
So what
December.
we
Let
gonna
me
give
make
them?
let me
We
make
don't
a
got
general
so many
comment.
dollars
From
to hand out.
30,000 feet, are we making any cuts to the proposed December budget for the fire department? I don't think
We're not to that
anybody's
section
discussed
yet.
cuts.
We didn't get there yet. We didn't get there yet. But I do
All right,
have,
well, that passed 4-1.
One thing, let me make sure I understand this. The old budget for the police was $2,571,299. The new budget for the police is $2,640,299.
So why not?
When you add the 69,000.
correct.
So that's what the new budget is.
Yeah.
Want to make sure we got it
Yes,
correct.
sir.
Okay.
Yep.
I also move to amend the police officer training and education line item to increase it by $6,815.
Whatever the number is to have zero impact.
Yes, that is
right?
the zero impact, yes.
Right.
Okay.
Let me say we have a motion on the floor by Councilman Asbill,
I'll second it.
second by Councilman Ricks to increase, what was that line item again?
I don't know the line item, to be honest with you. It was police department training and education.
Would it be 295?
I'll take your word for it.
No, it's not 295.
Okay.
No,
Page 8, line
234,
320,
All
234.
right, so we,
Page
have a motion
6.
by Councilman Asbill, second by Councilman Ricks.
Yeah, page
320.
To increase training on line 234, page 8 to 6815. All in favor?
Yay.
Nay.
4 yeas, 1 nay.
What was that amount? 6-1?
6815.
Got it.
Okay, I'm looking at the November budget. Mine says line, it's on page 19. Mine says line 720, which transfers out to capital fund. The 2024 as proposed in November,
Which line item, Jason?
mine is 720. I'm not sure what yours is on the December budget. Which transfers out to general fund.
719 on this one.
725 on the December budget.
All right, the original 2024 budget as proposed in November was $900,000.
Well, I don't have that.
Guys, he's on the November 2022 line
720,
24.
719.
719.
Oh, 719?
Which we looking at,
11, 11.
this one? This one? Or this one? Oh, and I'm looking at
Okay, you want to finish your amendment? 900,000?
720.
Increasing it to $987,549. That is increasing the transfer out. That is putting more sales tax money in the fire department's budget.
Where we going? Yeah. Mine's
Okay, so the-
717.
What's that number again?
987,549.
717, 717.
So what is,
Okay.
Where?
Yeah.
Oh, over here, yeah, but right here. So this is what we're doing, that's 2024 budget. 917.
987, 547, you said?
549.
Understand, Chief.
987, 549.
Yeah.
Transfers out to general fund. Yes, sir.
Okay, so we have a motion by Councilman Asbill, second by Councilman Chatelain to do a transfer out, page 19, line item 724, for $987,549. And that's a transfer from sales tax to,
To general fund for fire department expenses.
sales tax to
just to be clear, that's a decrease.
fire department general fund.
Yeah, so that is an increase over the November budget. It is a decrease in the transfer out over the December presented budget.
Okay,
We would need to make the corresponding,
you want to vote on that one?
oh yeah, we should vote on that one.
Okay, all in favor?
Yeah.
Nay.
4 yeas, 1 nay. corresponding?
We should make the corresponding increase. Mine is line, I'm on page 7 maybe. Mine is line 311. Yours is line 313.
No, mine's,
It's like I'm juggling people up here.
What line, sir?
313.
what's that number again, 9 what?
313.
Line 313,
On which,
What's that number?
on the
your
two?
budget, on
on the
the December, on the December one that you have. I looked it up.
Okay, 313 on December, because
What'd you change in there?
We're changing that also to 987,549 to match, this is a transfer in. So this is recognized as the revenue from the fire sales tax fund into the general fund. Got it?
So the same decrease, it matches.
Same decrease for December, same raise in November.
Yes, so we have a motion by Councilman Asbill to transfer $987,549, transfer into line 13 on page 7. We have a second by Councilman Ricks. All in favor?
wait, let's discuss it. Is that in and of itself
549.
is going to create a deficit, I think, doesn't it?
You transfer it from the sales tax fund into the general fund. It should be just a wash.
Just moving it till they get spent.
Right. Mr. Buddy,
Right, but we were moving
as-
$1,275,000.
as compared to the December 20 budget, yes, it would. But the amendment is to the 11-20 budget. Right.
All right. Thank you for the explanation.
Okay.
All right.
All right, all in favor?
Yeah.
Nay.
4 yeas, 1 nay.
I would then propose that we look at, let me get your line item numbers on the other one. On the December budget, lines 302 through lines 367. Lines 302 through line 367, column M. I would move that we would accept those as presented in the December budget.
With the exception of row 313 or including row
What
313?
was 313? I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, with the exception of row 313, you're correct.
So does that not reinstate the general funding for the fire department?
It does.
Okay, so council, if you vote for this, you've just created a budget hole
No,
of right at $290,000. No, the budget is going to be out of balance.
not correct.
If there's not an offset, the offset's going to have to come from some other.
That's not correct, Mr. Buddy, because the budget would be out of balance if we had accepted all of the police department funding and all of the funding the other line items. This balances the budget.
So you're cutting, your plan is, we make these changes you're discussing. There is some $280,000 of other changes that were increases that you plan not to increase between November and December.
At this time, yes, I think this is the cleanest way to do it.
Okay, just so we know that if we do this, there's got to be an offset in the December budget of somewhere, cost reductions of $290,000. So if,
That is correct. You are correct.
yeah,
That is correct.
so because what you're doing is you're reinstating the general fund money in the fire department to the 2021 number, in effect.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
200 and,
So as opposed to utilizing any potential excess liabilities, excess tax revenue in the fire department to offset any other expenses, we're not going to do it. So now we got to come up with some cuts.
I would propose we would not do that at this time, correct? So the motion was to,
Oh.
yeah, I'm just going to reiterate the motion. The motion was to accept lines 309 through lines, next line 367, excluding line 313 as presented in column M of the December budget.
I need to compare up, hold on.
Correct.
And voting for this amendment would cause the general fund budget to not balance.
Like
Be
$290,000.
No, sir, that's not right. Voting for this, because we haven't accepted the other increases that were presented
Fair
in
enough,
December.
fair
Yeah.
enough, fair
Right?
enough.
So
Yep.
voting for this would balance the budget. You probably don't have the numbers in front of you, but it does. Voting for this balances the budget as presented in November and the changes tonight.
Yeah, as presented in November. So
And
Todd,
changes
what
tonight.
happened between the November budget and the December budget? What was the process? Why did it change?
Meetings with the police chief, fire chief primarily, sanitation, that was new information. And then other changes in capital projects,
The
some
capital projects
better
are in effect
information in
what
that.
we're talking about now.
Right.
The fire department and the police department budgets didn't change by $290,000, I don't think. The fire
So the
department
fire-
budget didn't change at all, correct?
No, the fire department budget increased from
Increased.
November to December.
That's right. That's why we're increasing it from that 900 to the 987.
Right, their salaries went from 657 to 817. Correct?
Over what?
From this budget to this budget.
I don't know what they went from, to be honest with you.
Total, the fire department went from 2.05 million to 2.
Ty, do you agree if this
Three.
is passed by the council, to balance the budget, we're going to have to make, to balance the
$200,000 in
December,
cuts.
it's a $290,000 reduction in some expenses on the December proposed budget.
In isolation, and I'm just trying to think this through on the fly, but in isolation, as of now, without any future changes, I think it would cause a deficit within the general fund,
Yeah,
absent any other amendments that the council may consider after this one.
yeah. We utilized with this last change, you're utilizing $200,000 of general fund money that wasn't proposed. That you're reinstating it towards the fire department's contribution.
That is absolutely correct.
So, but it's got to come from somewhere.
It comes from not accepting the other increases at this time. That's where it comes from. We didn't accept the other increases at this time. So right now, to me, the budget is balanced. What's out of balance right now until we accept this last increase
On the November budget.
on the November budget.
Okay. I wasn't a party to the discussions to go from the November to December budget.
Neither was I. Well, other than the
The
capital
phone calls
stuff.
we made.
Yeah, well, I wasn't a party to it at all. I don't know why the changes were made, but if they were made as discussed, then that money needs to be budgeted, unless somebody was playing
Need to
with the
amend the rest
December
of the
budget.
Is this a suggested increase in the highlighted area, or is this just an increase that you're amending?
This is an increase I'm gonna,
It's a reduction in the highlighted area for transfers in. That delta,
it's an
that delta
increase
comes
over-
from the general fund.
Let me tell you, it's an increase over the November budget. It's also an increase over the 2023 budget. It's an increase over the original 2023 budget to the tune of $260,000. So although salaries went up $260,000 this year, or whatever it was, I'll take your word for it, that money's coming in from the sales tax fund.
Sorry, I didn't follow the last part of that.
The fire department's budget absolutely goes up in 2024. So does the contribution from the sales tax fund.
And if you'd like, I'd be happy to discuss those increases now.
Sure.
So consideration is made to the 2023 original adopted budget and some of the statements that I'm going to make, as well as the 2023 end-of-year proposed budget and 2024 proposed budget. The 2024 fire department budget reflects an increase of $354,445 over 2023's original budget, the original adopted budget. It also reflects an increase of $595,438 over the proposed end of 23 budget, the budget that was just passed. That is a decrease in expected expenditures of $240,993 in 2023. And that was due to losing some employees and not being able to replace them, not having the academy till late, and then not being able to retain several people that wanted the academy, they backed up. It's also 2023's reduction was money that we put to make the first payment on the fire truck. That's actually not due until 2024. We also had a slight increase in uniform and software maintenance and things like that. So the 2024 budget increase over 2023 end of year is reflected for the following. Line item 01011340500, insurance expense, it's increased by $4,648. That's anticipating approximately a 10% increase in coverage. Line item 01011342200, electricity, increased by $38.60. This is for expected increases in electricity. We know we've been in the meeting with Entergy, and we know that we can expect some potential increases in what we're going to pay. So this hopefully will cover it. If not, we'll have to address it again later in the year if we recognize that they will. Hopefully the smaller station with the trailer won't be that big. All right, so line item 01011342500, vehicle repair and expense is reduced by $10,000. Line item 01011348500, capital lease principal is increased by $83,606. That will be for the first payment on the new, I have on my list 258, but it's actually the new 257. That's the ladder truck that we've already agreed to purchase. Line item 01011349003, 01011352600. Its salaries and those expenses within increased by $521,590. Those increases will allow us to replace the previously budgeted firefighter that was in original 2023 budget, and hire 4 additional firefighters for 7 total firefighters over what you would have seen at the end of 2023. Promote 1 captain to assistant chief, promote 2 firefighters to captain, and institute a salary deputy chief, and increase all salaries as accordance to our pay matrix that was adopted by ordinance by this council. The cost breakdown, 7 firefighters is $444,780. Captain to assistant chief is $21,762. 2 firefighters to captain will increase that $24,005. Deputy chief from current will increase will give us an increase of $14,864. Salary increase per the matrix, $16,179 is required by that ordinance. Currently, because I know the questions are going to come up, they did. Current, we have 17 employees. That is 1 chief, 3 captains, 1 training officer, training fire prevention officer, and 12 firefighters. If this budget is passed as requested, in 2024, we'd have 24 total employees, with 1 chief, 2 deputy chiefs, 1 of operation, 1 of administration, 4 captains, 17 firefighters. This operational flow chart allows for a better span of control and daily operation, as well as on the emergency scene. And we can get into what starting salaries of firefighters, captains, assistant chiefs, and chiefs if you'd like to, but that is the amended line items as they are.
Thank you.
So, Councilman, I have a question for you, because we're getting close on time restraints here.
I'm sorry, say again?
I have a question for you, because we're getting close on time constraints here, and this is obviously a sticking point for you. Do you want to go ahead and accept the 2024 budget as amended up to this point, with all the amendments that we have so far, and then come back at a later date to
I
continue
don't
on?
want to do it, but I mean, we can vote on it. I don't want to do it. I think, I don't understand how
No,
the
I'm
mayor
talking minus
presented
this.
a budget, a December revised budget, and we've just created a $290,000.
Yeah, I'm talking excluding that, because we're not going to vote on that. I'm asking vote on budget as
Before
highlighted.
that.
Yeah, before that, because
that.
this is not in the highlighted area. This is Councilman Asbill's amendment.
I think so. I'm gonna be real
We're running out of
curious
time,
with
so we
Todd, when he reruns the numbers.
Right.
Yeah.
Shows us.
Perfect.
And I don't know what Todd's gonna use when you rerun the numbers. What are you changing? You're gonna change the November budget.
So up until now,
I mean, that's what we've done. We've taken the November budget and accepted some of the changes that are shown in the
Correct,
correct,
December budget.
Correct.
And we've made some additional changes.
correct.
minor, but yeah.
Yeah.
What am I voting on? The budget you have here is $4,072,926. What is the new budget we're voting on now? I mean, you've made all these changes. What is the number we're voting on? You can't give me that number.
It's the November 20 budget plus all the amendments,
But do you have that figure?
plus,
Do you have that figure?
I don't know what 4 million.
No.
What budget are you talking about?
there's no
Well,
budget for 4
the
million.
Yeah, that's
number,
not true.
not the
Yeah.
new one, that's 9.9 million, 9,900,000. The first budget we got was $9,072,926.
Right,
Okay, yeah, you said
The
4
new
million.
budget is what? For all these
9.9.
numbers y'all throwing out, I don't feel comfortable voting for it.
9.9 million.
No, that's the new budget. That's the
Right.
second budget.
Right,
That's
basically,
not-
we're
not
voting
for
on,
that.
we're basically voting on to accept the amendments from that one in your
To this
hand
one.
to that one in your other hand.
Y'all voting on a $9.9 million budget?
Correct.
No.
Basically,
No, excuse me. Excuse me. We are voting on the $9.072 million
Yes.
What
budget,
is the new number?
plus the changes that we've made.
What is that new number?
Mostly sanitation is the big,
Yeah, mostly sanitation and dispersing those changes over.
What is the new number?
There was
about
110.
9.5.
The new, no,
The new
One
number?
When you add
oh, yeah,
sanitation.
you're right.
I can't vote for it. I'll go ahead and vote. I'm voting against it. I can't, y'all made too many changes. Y'all can't give me the total budget. So that's all
He's
right.
about to give you the total budget.
Nine,
All right.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
9.5.
It's 9.5.
It's 9.5.
There's too many
now.
changes been made, too much, no. Go ahead, y'all got the 3 votes to pass.
so do you want to go ahead and vote where we are as of now and continue on, as you can continue to scrub some of the other numbers? Because I think as of now, I think we're in a pretty good spot.
Or we can defer.
Just,
Call for the vote.
yeah, if we don't vote for Councilman Asbill's last proposal, which, if I'm correct, we haven't passed a proposal changing the transfers in, correct?
Correct.
We have not
Now,
voted to
we
change.
voted on it, we did vote on the 987,549 has been voted. Now, when you're talking about the 290 that we're on right now, that has not been voted on.
Well, we're not on, I'm sorry.
You know, we're talking expenses.
Line 313.
Correct, we have not, well,
We haven't
no,
we
I'm sorry.
haven't modified that. So the number is now the November budget number, which is almost $300,000 less than your proposal.
Sir, we have modified 313.
Yep, that's what I tell you, I was letting you finish, we have.
We have modified 313.
We have moved on.
But,
What we have not done is we've not modified the expense line items.
Correct.
And so that will throw your budget out of balance.
Yeah. So what's the line item that we need to get in to modify that last line to keep us balanced here?
You need to, in my view, we need to accept whatever the expense line items for the fire department, column M.
Just can't go further. It's too much.
So, again, on your December budget, my motion is to accept lines 302 through line 367, excluding line 313, because we've already changed that one.
I'll second it.
So I think
which that would cause the general fund budget for 2024 to not be,
Would you have on a 369?
We have,
not be balanced.
we're gonna run out of time, we're gonna have to come back and amend it, right?
Right.
Okay.
So we'll be passing a budget that's about $300,000 in deficit.
Okay, so we can stop prior to that, and we're in a good spot where we are, and then we can go back to that, so we don't go into a negative in a general with the 390,000,
It
290,000?
does not create a deficit. I'm sorry, Todd, and I'm sorry, Mayor, but I've got to disagree. It does not create a deficit because you have not accepted the other increases throughout the budget.
Right,
It does not create a deficit.
that's correct.
It balances.
That's right.
I don't follow Councilman Asbill. I don't see it.
And the reason you're saying that's because you're not accepting these other ones.
You're not accepting these other
The other
increases.
changes that need to be made.
Correct. If you were to accept the other increases and then it would be out of balance. Then you would have the deficit. But we've not accepted all the other increases throughout the budget except for sanitation, fire, capital, ARPA, police, to the extent of sanitation. That's the only change, that's the only increases we've accepted.
That's right.
And the retirement benefits.
So, as I said, we can vote to agree to be where we are right now with the changes that we've made to the November budget, to the December budget as agreed upon, and pick back up on this line item at the next council meeting.
I'm ready.
So, one question before we move forward.
Special meeting? No.
We could also entertain a motion to defer to next Wednesday
The
to finish it out.
total fire department budget in November was $2,053,000. In the December proposed budget, it's $1,914,000. So
I can tell you that November budget had zero input from me. None.
And that doesn't sound right, what you just said.
Chief,
Well,
just to-
I'm looking at
so
the
that's not
numbers.
true. Most of the numbers were exactly what you budgeted. There were some that were not
Not in
Not
my
consistent.
2024 proposal.
Yes, sir.
You hadn't even received my numbers before then.
He's talking about in the November,
I'm talking about in the November.
The November-
In December, they're identical. I mean,
Okay,
that's-
all right.
I mean, that was your estimation, a
Yeah.
good-hearted effort.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that had none of my input.
So the fire
So
department,
That's right.
You're going off
It
of
was-
historical
Well,
data,
what the-
keeping things as they were. I agree with that.
so the change, the delta. In November, we budgeted expenses of $2,053,000. In December,
can you tell me what lines you're looking at?
okay, yes, sir.
Please.
Page 9, line 366.
I'm there.
And that's in the November budget.
In
In
November,
the December budget, it's page, wait a minute,
Page
hold
9.
on. I'm heading on the wrong page.
Yeah, page 9, 369. Or 368. Well, I can't follow it.
68,
In the December budget, we had 2,317,000, I believe, on page 9,
Yes, sir.
line 369.
Yes, sir.
So what is the fire department's, with these changes? What's the fire department's budget?
What did he present?
No, we're modifying the,
2.3.
the,
Oh,
the-
I see what you're saying.
the November budget, which had the fire department's total expenses of $2,053,000. What is it now?
2,317,630.
2,317,000.
Okay. So with all the increases between the two different budgets, the fire department's getting 100% of it. I think the administrative side of the city is going to take it in the shorts. We passed part of the 2007 budget. I'm sorry, I keep saying it, the November budget.
That's concerning, Mr.
Well, good, because we're increasing the fire department's budget to the December budget proposal, which is higher by a couple of $100,000, $300,000. Well, about $270,000.
Okay, so
So where's, I'm just sitting here saying, when Todd runs these numbers, there's going to be a deficit.
all right, so we haven't gotten there yet. We haven't gotten there yet.
Haven't gotten what yet?
To your 292, that was the last proposed that you make, but we haven't voted on it. What my recommendation is because we still
What is
have,
the last proposal? I'm
the
sorry.
last one was just a transfer in and transfer out of the sales tax fund of the
So that
90.
hasn't been voted on.
That has been voted on, the transfer in, transfer out, but that's just a wash. He took
No, it's not.
He took it out of the sales tax fund and put it into the general, the
No,
987.
change the amounts. Yeah.
Jason, you
from the
saying
sales
no,
tax
and Todd, what do you say?
I changed it from 987 to 97.
Todd, are you
on
saying
those
it puts us
lines.
in a
Say
deficit?
I'll prepare the budgets differently next year.
Do you
Okay?
say it's putting us in a deficit? Todd?
What?
Do you say it's putting us in a deficit?
I think in isolation, we're increasing expenses by 200 and something thousand to get the fire department budget to 2.3 million. And there's no
Well, that's not,
offsetting.
we're not voting on that. We're
Oh,
voting
that's
on
right, that's right.
the,
We're not voting on that.
we're not voting on that. We're
Prior
voting
to
on
that,
the,
have
Okay.
we?
Prior to that, no, there's,
The budget is still
so the budget's
balances where it is.
balanced,
So-
it was 9 million, and all we did was add sanitation, and we took the savings from
And we-
sanitation, added the retirement match, and 69,000 to
so
police.
as long as we do that, it's good.
We're good.
We have a balanced
good.
budget, it's going to be 9.5
Did we
million.
not?
Okay.
No,
did
we
not
don't,
change-
no, we still don't have a balanced budget because we put an additional 87,000 from sales tax fund into the budget already. We've made that move. So if we're gonna
So we're not
stop here
balanced.
tonight, we gotta move that 87 back to the sales tax fund.
So we're not
No,
balanced.
that would give us an ending fund balance
So
of plus 87,000 to whatever it was.
So Todd,
Oh, yeah, I'm in agreement with that.
so we're not balanced.
Yeah.
You want to have a meeting on
Not in a
the
deficit.
27th?
I have
We're
one,
not in a deficit.
I have one
No.
question.
No, but we wouldn't need to,
Mayor?
no, but we would need to change the
Did we not-
87,000.
Did we or did we not
As long as we're not in a deficit.
change,
We would not.
did we
be-
vote to change on the,
funding's there.
hold on, let's see, we get to that line item.
Right,
Me
correct.
too.
We did not vote to change line 302 through 367. We did not vote on that.
Right, but hold on, we did vote to
Council,
change line.
Council, the clerk just pointed out, we do have some old business that we have to get to.
Let him finish. We got it. We got this.
313.
We got to do the, it's,
Did we not
We need a civil
vote to
service.
change line 314?
We did not. Not that I know. No, we did not.
What,
I thought it was increased
line what?
to 985.
Line what?
Line
314.
314.
To 987.
To 987, yes, we voted and that was done.
So that change was made.
Yes, sir. From 900 to 987.
You did not create a deficit.
No, no,
That's
but
what I'm
other things that were budgeted for increases, like insurance, aren't getting funded. Something's not going to get funded.
Well, that's all right, we can change it in January.
We can.
That's it.
So
I mean,
I'll move,
10 minutes to 12. We got to do something.
made a motion to accept those fire department expenses as presented in the December budget. I move that motion.
I'll second it.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion. And which one are you talking about? Because you lost track of me now.
The only one we didn't vote on.
Yeah, accepting the fire department expenses as presented in the
Finance
December,
director's telling us that it's going to throw us, that is, will put us into a deficit.
until January, until we figure out how to fix it.
Well, we vote on it. I'm not going to vote for that, but we can vote on it.
What are we voting on now?
If we vote on this the change that he has now to put us in the 290,000, we'll go into a deficit of 290,000 if we vote on Councilman Asbill's proposed motion.
But we can amend it in the next meeting, correct?
Yes.
I thought you just told me what you were going to.
Deficit yet, because you haven't voted for any of the.
Right, exactly.
Right.
And we can amend it in the January meeting, so it does have no effect on us tonight whatsoever.
So, wait a minute. The budget we're voting on tonight, Todd, do you think if we vote on the amendments that Councilman Asbill has proposed, and we include the changes that he proposed for the fire department, which we have not voted on yet, does that create, in your opinion, a deficit budget that we're going to approve? Anything can be amended.
Yes, I think yes.
And I don't know why we want to do that.
Why don't we just redirect that at the next meeting?
Yeah.
Let's vote. So wait, you want to vote to,
There was a motion, there was a second by Councilman Riggs,
and that was to,
to accept the fire
To
department
accept.
expenses as presented in the December version of the budget.
No, I'm going to ask a question.
Right.
I know council's not here. You can bring that back up at the next meeting as well.
Any amendments can be offered
Yeah.
until the
Yeah,
bill
I mean-
is voted on.
I mean, look,
You're going to approve a deficit budget.
And you can't, just for the council's
What
benefit,
did I say?
while I'm not an attorney, but the council can pass a deficit budget since we have available fund balance.
Say that one more time?
So the council can pass a deficit budget because we have available fund balance. We have a $2 million or so fund balance.
yeah,
in
we
the-
reduce our projected fund balance.
It would, right, it would be a reduction of the fund balance.
Bring it up next meeting.
That's how we would budget it in the kind of schedules. That's how we would show it.
I don't, okay, I'll say it one more time.
I'm not making a
I'm not
recommendation.
voting-
I'm just saying
I'm
that's
not going to vote in favor of
permissible.
passing a budget with a deficit.
I mean,
It's
redirect it next meeting.
So you have a motion on the floor and a second, so a vote's got to be called.
We'll call for the vote,
All right.
man.
it's for the fire, yeah, for.
All in favor?
Yay.
We're voting on the, adopting the
No,
fire
we're voting on
department
this-
expenses as in the December budget,
Correct.
correct?
Yay.
Nay.
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 Hey.
All right, 2 yeas, 3 yeas, 2 yeas, 3 nays. 4 nays, okay.
Council, I make a motion to amend line 3, give me a second.
13.
313, to reduce it back to $900,000.
I'm sorry.
I agree with
Say
that.
again, line 313.
Line 313, to reduce it back to $900,000.
I agree with that.
Okay, so we have a motion by Councilman Asbill to reduce line number 318 back to 900,000 to keep the budget
I'll
balanced.
second that.
Okay, with second by Councilman Chatterling, all in favor?
Yay.
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 You also need to
I'll
do
go for it. I'm not sure.
I move to amend,
He put it back.
row 725.
move to amend row 725 to change that back to $900,000.
I'll second that.
For a second by Councilman
What
Chatterling.
row? I'm sorry.
725. moving it back to 900,000. All in favor?
Yeah.
Yay.
Councilman Bodie? I didn't hear you vote, Councilman Bodie?
I'm voting yea.
I'm voting nay.
4 yeas, 1 nay. Moved it back to 9. All right, so you got those notes? You got that? Okay, got it. Now, are we gonna?
I don't get it.
Now, do we want to approve the budget as amended as to this point?
I would move to defer the budget to the January meeting.
I think we should at least approve it where we're in a good spot.
Well,
Let's
if
approve
you
it. and
approve
then-
it, if you approve it as amended, you got to wait 2 or 3 meetings to advertise new amendments to it.
Well, we're going to have 2 or 3 weeks. We're talking about.
2 or 3 meetings, 2 or 3 meetings. You got to wait 2 or 3 meetings.
Not if we call a special meeting.
It's still 2 or 3 meetings. You've got to advertise the amendments to the budget.
We can do it. We good. Yeah, no, I'm with you. We'll call a special meeting if we have to. It'll just be sometime in January.
Or
after
just
the 10th.
approve
do it now.
or you can approve the budget published on 11/20, as is.
We've already made amendments to the budget on 11/20 though.
Yeah, okay.
And approved them.
Okay?
So we need to approve it.
I move to approve the budget presented on 11/20 with the amendments that we've made this evening.
And I agree with that. I agree with that.
I'm good.
All right, so we have a motion by Councilman Asbill, second by Councilman Ricks, to approve the 11/20 budget as amended tonight with the amendments that we've made. All in favor?
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
I'm sorry, nay.
All right, so
You say nay?
4 yeas, 1 nay. Councilman Asbill, nay. Okay, so Madam Clerk, move on with the rest of the business. You have 5 minutes.
Old business number 1, Board of Adjustment dismissal and appointments.
Okay. No, I don't think, do we have anyone?
We do. We have 2 people. We have a
thought you
person
had-
that Paul is proposing, and we have a person previously discussed, Dennis Hoffman, who is currently on planning and zoning.
Okay, so we have a motion by Councilman Buddy to reassign Dennis Hoffman from Planning and Zoning to Appeals Board. We have a second by Councilman Asbill. All in favor?
Yeah.
Yay.
5
I'm
yeas.
staying, I don't know the guy. Who are you talking about?
It's
Dennis Hoffman.
Dennis Hoffman is on the planning and zoning board.
I don't know him. I'm
Harahan
staying.
resident.
All right, so we got four yeas, 1 abstention.
Manages $60-70 million.
Okay, so Mr. Paul, you got a person you want
Yeah,
on the
I
Appeals
have
Board?
Carol LaGreco.
Mr. Paul wants to nominate Carol LaGreco for the Appeals Board. Do I have a second?
Wait, I have a question. I don't think I have a problem. How many open seats do we have? on the
I think 3.
Got a whole bunch.
Okay, then
Yeah, I'm with
you've
it.
answered my
I'll
question.
second it.
Thank you.
All right, so we have a second from Councilman Ricks on Carol
Do we have
LaGreco.
anyone else?
That's
That's
it.
the only one.
That's it. All in favor?
Is she
Yay.
qualified? Is she That's, I didn't qualified?
Oh,
check
yeah.
to see.
I mean, she's been a real estate agent most of her life, and she knows a
You didn't see
ton
her
about property law.
resume? Pass that down real quick.
Oh, yeah, got the rest.
I don't know this guy, Dennis. I just couldn't vote for somebody I don't know.
It's okay.
Tony, you don't have to
I mean,
vote.
would she not be better served on planning and zoning? Is that-
No, she wants to serve on the variance. She'd like to serve on the variance board.
All right, let's
Planning and zoning board is,
get y'all's vote. All in favor? On
Yeah.
Carol LaGreco.
Yay.
What do you, Mike?
Yay.
4, Eric?
Nay.
All right, 3 yeas, 2 nays. Okay, Madam Clerk.
Old business number
just would
2,
like to-
appoint city humane officer.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilman Asbill to withdraw. Second by Councilman Chatelain. All in favor?
Yay.
Withdrawn. Madam Clerk.
Old business number 3, planning and zoning board appointment.
We changed
I don't believe we have any Planning and Zoning Board appointments at this time. Old business number 4.
Old business number 4, civil service board appointment, university representative.
I move to appoint Mr. Paul Fiasconero.
All right, we have a motion by Jason Asbill to appoint Mr.
second.
Paul Fiasconero. We have a second by Councilman Buddy. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Thank you, Mr. Paul.
I will reach out to Deanna and ask if she'd want to serve on one of these other boards.
Yes. She's
Okay,
awesome. Let's go.
I'm assuming we're going to skip new business number 1?
Yeah, we're going to
Let's
skip
do
new
it.
business 1.
No.
Okay. You want to do it?
You want to do it, Todd? No, go. New business number 2.
Night.
New business number 2, dear Mayor and Council, I, Ashley Schomer, residing at 75 Donnellan, am respectfully requesting permission to block a small portion of Windsor Street on Sunday, December 31st, 2023, for a birthday/New Year's Eve party for her son from 5 p.m. till. We are also requesting 4 barricades to block the street at Donnellan and Sedgefield Drive. The block consists of 4 houses. I think she said it's just driveways to those 4 houses. These neighbors have been notified and will be attending the party. Thank you, Ashley Schomer.
Is a police officer required?
Yeah.
I think it should be. I would move
And it's,
I would move to,
and it's two, one on each end, right?
I would
It's a
move,
short block.
It's short, but you need.
I blocked one street a few years ago. and
I
two
mo-
was
I move
required.
to approve contingent upon her hiring the police as required by the chief of police.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilman Asbill to approve with a second by Councilman Buddy. We'll open for public hearing. No one coming forth. To approve a contingent on hiring 2 detailed police officers. All in favor?
Yeah.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Madam Clerk.
New
you got 1
business
minute.
number 3, high and low content ABO application for 811 Fuel Incorporated located at 1700 Hickory Avenue for Mohammed Abed.
Chief has cleared the ABO.
Yes, he's new management for the justice.
Move to approve.
Wait, did you indicate with this gentleman you were waiting on fingerprint results from the state police?
No, that was the
That was the last
ramen guy.
one.
That was the
This
ramen guy.
guy's good to
This
go.
is new management.
Yeah, but he's good to go.
Yep. All in favor?
Yeah.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Madam
Address
Clerk.
the council.
Move to adjourn.
Mario, you got about, I mean,
Real quick.
you got about 2 seconds.
Real quick, as I was looking at the property tax bill, my mortgage is on auto pay. So I was just looking at it, and I was looking at my mortgage statement, and it says it paid, a portion to the city of Harahan and a portion to Jefferson Parish, but when I received the tax bill, obviously it's all together in there. So I was wondering if my mortgage payment made an overpayment to the city of Harahan, is it gonna get credit to the next tax bill, or is it gonna just refund it?
It didn't, because the city of Harahan bills were not issued. Only one bill through the parish was issued. That money would have been sent to the parish, and it would have came, and the parish would have allocated back to us.
But my mortgage company shows on the escrow paid 300, and then 900 for the parish, so it shows two
Yeah,
figures.
any
would recommend-
payments that we've gotten in, we've called the mortgage companies and let them know and sent the checks back with a letter to
Okay.
issue them to Jefferson Parish.
That's fine, that was my
So
main
you're gonna
thing.
send the check that Mario?
We call the
You're not gonna deposit it,
lender,
you send the check
right,
back.
we don't, we send the check back. It has to go to Jefferson Parish.
If this gets confusing, I mean, we'd have to waive any late penalties, anything like
Yeah, we
that.
are, and we are.
Just
Okay.
because it's a new transition,
We
we
have.
can't.
Yes.
And I did forward it to my mortgage company,
We
so.
have.
Yeah.
Because I
Okay.
we're
So
looking,
they paid it on autopilot
Yeah.
instead of waiting for a tax bill.
right, exactly, yeah.
Mayor, real quick, I know we only got a minute. I'm getting calls from Miss LeMay on Huntley about those cats. Are we doing anything?
We are.
They
We're
went
working
over there
with
and
the
picked
man.
another cat up today. That 86-year-old lady, she's crying and everything. They've picked up 3
We'll
of her
talk about it
cats.
tomorrow. It's a little bit more detailed. It's got, it's
She's
an onion
got-
with a lot of layers.
No, really, she's got 4 cats left. She's picking the cats up, and so you're gonna be here tomorrow?
For a few minutes, yes, I'll be having lunch with the staff.
Okay, all right.
We got secretary's report.
Oh, Lord, I picked it all up because I figured we were skipping it.
Advertised for the 22nd. December 22nd.
You got a secretary's report?
Yeah. Oh, Lord. Secretary's report for November 2023, total revenues $422,705.27. Reports.
bills?
Pay bills. Bills paid in November 2023, total expenditures $501,351,007.
Okay. We have a motion to adjourn. Anybody want to do any reports?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody. All right, we have a motion adjourned by Councilman Asbill, second by Councilman Chatelain. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay, we are adjourned.